I met my first mentor. His name was Jeff. He passed away a couple years ago, but he really introduced me. I became his assistant. He introduced me to real estate.
Okay.
We were business partners. He was like my best friend. He was the son of the owner of a local real estate company in Newcastle.
Okay.
And he really was the one who showed me, this is how you make money. This is how you deal with people. Because there's a science to it with like, you know, a social aspect. You know, how do you convey information so someone will trust you to buy something through you?
Yeah.
A house purchase is the most expensive thing most people buy in their entire lives.
Yeah.
And I'm 22 years old at the time, much like what you guys do.
Yeah.
It's a young culture. Why would they trust you? You don't even own a house. You don't even have a utility bill in your name, and you're sitting there selling homes.
Yeah.
So that was my struggle at that point. But Jeff was my mentor, taught me, showed me how much I could make, showed me what I could do, and I became obsessed.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
What were those first few years like then?
Very hard. Look how casual this is.
Oh yeah, this is really chill.
All right.
It's a
I love
Saturday
it.
too. If the suit was on, I'd be a little more professional.
Right,
but-
because that's what I've seen. I watched some of your episodes. I've seen you, and I was like, oh, should I dress up? I guess.
Oh yeah, so the suit on the weekends, I'll probably throw it back on tonight if I go for a cigar. But other than
Do you
that, it's
smoke in
off.
here?
No, I wish.
Okay.
So when we buy into a commercial building,
Yeah.
hopefully maybe we do that with
Oh
you or
my
something.
God, I could totally hook
yeah,
that up.
Yeah. So are you licensed to do that in like all the states?
Okay, so licensing is jurisdiction based, which would be a state based.
Yeah.
But I have connections here where I
You
can
can
still
broker
be
deals.
involved.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's me and Simon talked the other day. It's like rock out. I think we've got another 2-3 years on this lease. We'll be hypothetically for probably 5-6 years into our partnership out here, and then hopefully have, I don't know how commercial would work. You know, I've not bought a commercial building. I just pay the commercial leases, and I know that's a lot of money. We put 6 figures plus into leases annually.
Yes.
Where we'd love to build equity because we sell life insurance, so we pitch the difference: whole life, terms like renting, whole life's like owning. Are we recording? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So we're definitely. That'd be cool. You know what I mean?
I would love
maybe down the
that.
road we do another podcast in our own building.
It's
but
the
I would,
journey.
The
Yeah.
journey, and I'd like to have obviously a podcast studio where I can smoke a cigar in there and
Yeah. Some
not
type
set
of
off the
filter.
fire alarms.
Oh, that's why. They're
Yeah.
hardwired in.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Do you have a location picked out yet for the building?
Definitely want to stay in this area in general. And I know this building, when we recently moved in, because we got closer with the owner and just kind of picked his brain in regard to how the whole deal went. But I know he acquired it initially for like, I think it's 187,000 square feet, and I think he got it for like 5 or 6 and put a mill in, and then sold it. And he sat on it for I think 2 or 3 years, and he just recently sold it for close to double of what he put in.
What do you do? Put a roof in? Put some mechanicals in?
I think maybe touched up on the roof and things like that, but it put just a little more modern work on the inside
like
as
a
well.
facelift.
Yeah,
Okay.
facelift on the introduction when you walk in and things like that. The parking's massive, but he put a huge emphasis on not making a significant amount of money on leases to drive up the occupancy. So there was
Smart.
like, drove us out. So 1910 was the building that we were in.
Yep.
He lured me in because he was giving me basically half of, I was paying half what I was paying over there.
Yeah.
And he promised me less of the stress. Running a young culture like we do, a young sales culture like we do, the biggest complaint we get is the noise complaints and people not wanting to deal with the kids. I think the biggest thing would be noise, and then you know how we act in the parking lot, because you'll see like with Wexford and like our culture, not on a scale similar to them, but it's like a lot of nice cars and the kids want to.
That's when I pulled
donuts
in.
and-
I was in the wrong building, and I pulled in. I was like, "Wait, I don't see any like exotic vehicle in this
Yes.
parking lot. I am in the wrong place."
Yes, yeah, always a handful when you're, especially with the AIL culture. It's the cars. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's exciting. So commercial building. All right. So you
I've been seeing statistically though. I watch a lot of Patrick with David. I watch a lot of like podcasts throughout the week, more so on just economy, real estate, and different things like that. Just individuals I look up to, and you know their projections on with how COVID kind of affected the
Crushed
entire
it.
economy and everything with creating the virtual world. Some of the big CEOs, you know, you'll see Elon Musk and people like, I'm firing you if you don't work, you know, in person. So it's like it gives some hope for, you know, that in-person culture to drive the occupancy of a commercial building. But I'm kind of hoping that, you know, and I don't know if it would affect you negatively, but like commercial real estate will kind of like implode and drive down even
Listen,
smaller.
I'm hoping for a crash, and that's so. It might be taboo to say, but
Yeah.
like any vet in the real estate industry understands that there's a wave to ride when the economy, essentially, the economy of real estate goes down.
Yeah.
and when I say go down, it just changes. Like we had an anomaly year. It was like in 2021. Okay, so I'm very educated in the Pittsburgh area. That's where my bread and butter is. That's where I spend most of my time, where I do most of my business. I do other places, but that's where I do the most. So we have like an annual between 3 to 5% appreciation on real estate per year.
Yeah.
21, it was 17.
Yeah.
It's insane. So everything was, and that was residentially.
Is that revenue? Like 17% revenue in general?
Appreciation in value.
Appreciation in value?
Yeah.
Everything went up 17% in general.
Real estate residentially.
Yes.
Commercial had the opposite effect.
It went down 17%.
Well, you couldn't work.
Yeah.
You couldn't be together. So they had to adapt and evolve. And now businesses were, like you just mentioned, were becoming virtual. Businesses were realizing, oh, I don't need this overhead because we can still function at home. So that's why commercial became so cheap in that area and such. So it's a very interesting game. But I hope brick and mortar, because that's what we refer to it as, comes back, because I like to be in person.
I'll tell you from experience, not from personal experience. Actually, I could hypothetically tell you from personal experience that if I were to work in an isolated environment, I would not have the success that I've developed in the insurance industry.
I was just gonna say, because of sales, it's competitive. You have to. You're born with that nature.
And the only people that I think can do it is the women can somehow work from home and still get things done. Like I've got a lot of women that work within our business, but I see in the industry as well, that are, I wouldn't even call it multitasking, but are just able to like focus and get the job done regardless of the environment that they're in.
Interesting.
Whereas like the dudes that college age that we kind of recruit in our target market.
Age is a big factor.
There's no way I have a young dude, you know what I mean? And he's like, man, I just want to try it from home for a couple weeks. And he's like, I didn't make any sales. Well, it's like you played Xbox all day, and I probably would have done the same thing. It's not that I'm better than you, but you know, you got to be in that environment where it strikes that individual competitiveness of like, man, you know, I want to beat this individual. I want to beat my day yesterday. And I see they're making sales. I think the positivity also, because numbers are going to play out if you're around 10 other people. If you have a bad week, not 10 people shouldn't have a bad week. You know what I mean? 3 or 4 should crush it. 3 or 4 should do okay. And then 3 or 4 just don't close anything. But at least it's not you isolated and be like, this is never going to work out. I'm never going to close anything.
Well, I need human interaction to be inspired to even be motivated to work.
Yeah.
When it comes to, okay, so I can, if I'm just competing against me, which is in different facets can be a good and bad thing. But in terms of sales, which is what we're focusing on, I have to see what everybody else is doing to be like, where do I fall on that gauge? Where do I fall on that spectrum? Because if I guess it's just my innate characteristic where I'm like, oh, he's doing this much, I gotta beat him and do this much.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm in sales and why I'm an entrepreneur.
Do you do good with like being put into a position of like not I know you're individually competitive, but like put into a position of competitiveness? Because that's something I've tried to get better at, is leading different types of people. I don't want to say females like specifically, but in general, just some people respond better when you put them into a competitive environment. Some people.
So you put them. So when you say I put myself, like so I'm volunteering myself, or someone who pushed me,
or someone saying like putting you into a competition and be like, hey, is he going to sell more houses than you this week? And if not, you know what I mean? I
responded better when it's my ego on the line.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like the numbers are thrown up on a scoreboard and it's like, where do you rank?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I can't be, you know, I have to be in the top 10. What am I going to do? So in that sense, yes, but that also, so I've been in this 10 years. And How
old are you?
I'm 33.
No.
Yeah.
I thought you were like our age.
I mean, chronically, yes. I was born in 1990. But I feel 25.
I was going to say, I was going to say 23, 20. What do you think she was, Aaliyah? Yeah, definitely 33. Yeah, I was like, I was going to say, like, oldest was mid-20s.
Oh, well, that's great because, I mean.
What part of PA are you from?
I'm from Newcastle originally.
Newcastle?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure you know a lot of people from there.
Yes, yeah. That's the hottest team out of Wexford right now is the Newcastle team.
We're hustlers, man.
Yes, the hottest team. I think Joey just bought a new Porsche. All his guys are such sweethearts. Like, huge hearts. They work hard. They're disciplined. They're dedicated. They've only been in the insurance industry for 2 years, and they all got like 6-figure whips, and it's cool to see what they're doing.
It's really cool.
All
to see
Newcastle kids.
Yeah, well, it's because I was watching something today where it talks about you're either inspired or desperate.
Yeah.
And like coming from Newcastle, if you know anything about that area, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And especially now, like how the culture is basically like our phones, and you see this other life, you're desperate to get there.
Yeah.
Because we're not trust fund babies. You are either going to sink or swim.
I wonder if you saw my content, because I posted a big piece about inspiration or desperation.
Was that where I saw it?
Probably.
Maybe I got it from there.
Could have been. I don't know.
Could have
I posted something about
that. It resonated with me. Yeah.
That's dope. So small world. You've been in this for 10 years. You got introduced. What was? Let's kind of dive into how I structure the podcast in general. What about your parents?
Okay.
Where were they born and raised? Were they Newcastle babies? Yes. What's the nationality like? What are you?
We're Italian.
Italian.
So I was raised Italian.
Newcastle must be a heavy Italian
Heavy
spot.
Italian, yeah.
Because my buddy, his dad, and he's successful in the business. You know Sam Marzullo?
I don't.
So his dad, he's successful up at Arias, Maine, and Wexford, and they're from Newcastle, all heavy Italian, like real heavy Italian.
Very
the
prideful
Sunday dinners. My best friend.
They start at 2 p.m.
Start at 2 p.m.
Yes,
still?
they're lunch, but we call them
it's
dinner.
a whole day. You go out. You know what I mean? We used to. My best friend. You ever been to Joyo's? You ever heard of Joyo's? You got to go to Joyo's.
No.
Make sure media team. I want to clip this and I want to shout out Joyo's because it's the best pizza, hands down. In
I love pizza.
Not only Pennsylvania. I swear to God, this is some of the best pizza I've had.
And you're coming
nationally.
from Chicago.
I'm talking about Chicago. I've had pizza from everywhere. New York, Chicago, Mexico, wherever. I've had pizza everywhere. I don't know why I was in Mexico.
Pizza.
Taco pizza. But Joyo's pizza, my personal favorite's pierogi pizza. Shout out, Tony Joyo, Angelo Joyo, Bella Joyo. But I'm telling you, the pizza, it's phenomenal. And so I remember though, this family basically like took me in, kind of. You know what I mean? And my sister says I glorify her story, so I don't mean like took me in, like they had to raise me, but basically, man, like Tony was he's like a godfather. Yeah. I don't know. Is your dad like that hard Italian dad?
My dad's very reserved and very quiet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, those Italian men that are real
That's my
hardcore?
mom's side. Those are the ones that will, like, probably got ties somewhere I'm not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, like real
Throwing
hardcore.
people in the quarry, with cement blocks on their ankles.
Yeah,
that
real hardcore. That was Tony, and he built his business from the ground up, and just a phenomenal man, and kind of instilled those manly skills in me, like force, like you don't take shit, you work hard. You know what I mean? You break something, you replace it. I remember he let me borrow one of his pickaxes once, and I replaced it, and it meant a lot to me because he complimented me. He said, "That's what a man does." You know what I mean? I don't even have to ask you to do anything. You replace the tool, you use the tool, and just phenomenal family. Angelo
That's important.
And Bella, all of them. So Italian. So you're real Italian. Where did they come over? Is it grandparents, great grandparents?
So when I did the ancestry thing, it was 1922. His name was Luigi. He came over to Ellis Island.
Okay.
And then they came over. This is like my mom's side. They came and settled in Newcastle, in Rochester area.
Yeah.
And then my mom's side of the family, my grandmother's brother was in the manufacturing industry. So he had a booming and very successful manufacturing business in Newcastle in the 60s. And then, but that's my mom's side. It really doesn't trickle down to me. I wasn't really affected by that. My family, my dad, he's a carpenter. He's retired now.
Okay.
But by trade, carpenter. My mom and dad are 12 years apart.
Wow.
So my mom, I think they got married. My mom was 19. My dad was 31.
Yeah.
So they had a huge age gap.
Yeah.
They divorced when I was 6. Really, it's funny. Like now they're friends. They still hang out on Sunday dinner. Like it's my mom and my divorced dad together.
Yeah.
But it's like they were never meant to be together other than to create my sister and I, because they couldn't be two more opposite people. So when they divorced, I think my work ethic came from watching my mom work so hard.
Yeah.
She was 25 and single with 2 kids.
Yeah.
So we had subsidized housing. I mean, we were on welfare. Essentially.
Yeah.
I never knew that till I asked questions later on.
Yeah.
But I never felt like I went without either. She did a phenomenal job of shielding me from that.
Yeah.
And I can't.
I feel like we
enough.
could relate heavily to that because it's like we didn't really know, you know what I mean? But single mom, working 2, 3 jobs.
Yeah,
we weren't like.
I was never embarrassed. Like I was, you know what I mean?
Maybe me, but yeah, no, I agree with that. I think having exposure to wealth, I think we were. I know I was embarrassed. I don't know if I can speak for Aaliyah, but I know I was embarrassed. And I think that kind of created some of the anger that I had as a kid because going through before my dad went away, we had a lot of money from what he was doing illegally, and so we had exposure to a lot of money. Then we came up here, we had friends that had money, and so we were broke, and they had money, and we were kind of like, I think there was some confusion there.
It's like that clash,
like why can't we have
comparison?
It anymore?
Like, why are they going on vacation? Why are they eating here?
Yes.
It's like their normalcy compared to mine is when you become exposed. Like, you don't know what you don't know until you see it.
Exactly.
So going to Newcastle, I was pretty much it was an equalizer. I was like, I wasn't really seeing wealth.
Yeah.
Until I think I got older. you see it in movies, but you think that's so far away. You don't think it's like a real thing.
Yeah.
You think it's almost fantasy, like wealth is, what's that?
Yeah, facts.
So I watched my mom. She had 3 jobs at one time.
Yeah.
So she woke up and she would go to her phlebotomy job at like 3 a.m., go to her secretarial job at 7, and then go waitress at night. So I was, so to me, I had 2 jobs in high school. I was in 11th grade, 10th grade. I was working at a fast food place. I worked at a pool place. I was like, if my mom can do 3, I can do 2.
Yeah.
But then it was really, I was very money motivated, obviously, because money gave me power to buy whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And I like to look good. I like to, you know, buy things. I like to have convenience, like security. I like being able to travel. And I was like, oh, these things cost money.
Yeah.
So really the inspiration for money to make it and how to make it came when I was in the middle of college. I did go to college. I graduated from Pitt, and I have a biology degree. My family was like, "You're gonna, you gotta be the doctor." You know what I mean? I did not, specifically a dentist. I did not want to be a dentist at all.
Oh God.
Because I had.
That's my least favorite person.
It's just like, I just had an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be in mouths all day. I had an internship. My first internship, they held an old man's head and extracted 9 teeth in front of me.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
So.
That happens to me every time I go. I told him, I was like, just give me
extractions.
Basic something, dude. He's like, yep, got another one.
Well, they're
motherfucker, just take them all out then.
Yeah, give me veneers.
Yeah,
like,
take it all out. And I'll ask him about the veneers, and he's like, well, it won't help you. I was like,
you have nice teeth, though. I'm
well,
confused.
yes, I got nice teeth, but I think I had my first root canal at 20. I had a second one at 21, 22. At least a cavity a year. It's my sister. So what happens
how is
is
her fault?
She makes
typical man. It's her fault.
She makes cookies and like sugar. So I'm not gonna say no. No, but I think maybe genetics or something. I don't know.
I think it is genetically related, but I've been seeing these things on TikTok. That's my education.
We crushed sugar though growing up.
I love sugar.
Yeah, we crushed sugar. I think I may have crushed it more than everyone
I'm drinking
else.
it right now.
Yeah. See, I think it's slowed down a little bit now that like I've last couple of years have kind of honed in on somewhat of a diet, like Monday to like Thursday kind of.
Oh, you didn't have one?
No diet. Never a diet. Especially because growing up, not like the diet was like, is there food? You know what I mean? So it's like eat whatever, eat anything. And we are, I guess we had a small fat stage for some weird.
Why do you keep saying we? Like, why are you throwing her into that?
Oh, she knows. She knows we had a fat stage.
Yeah.
She knows we had a fast stage, so I feel like once we got through that, it was like our metabolisms were crazy. You know what I mean? Just eat everything. You know what I mean? So.
You know those like little tubs of icing you get for like a box cake? Like
okay.
Icing. You'd sit down with one of those and have it for lunch.
Yeah.
Listen, I used to eat raw cookie dough in 4th grade all the time. It was delicious.
I graduated at senior year. I graduated at 143 pounds.
Okay. That's skinny,
yeah,
right, for a dude. Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
I don't know
skinny.
dude sizes.
Yeah, 140 pounds. I feel like that's like an average girl size. You know what I mean? I'm like graduating, and I'm looking back. I'm like, dang, dude. I know I can't get into that topic. We can't talk about that. But I'm looking back now, and I'm like, holy shit, mom. Because I'm looking back, because I always had a 6-pack after like 15, but the 6-pack when I graduated,
thank God.
it looked like it was like peeling out, like one of those, like when you see on the like the commercial and the that In the Eyes of an Angel song starts playing. It's like,
oh my God, like you had a parasite?
Basically, it looked like I was like, you know what I mean? I had veins coming up into my stomach, and I was like looking back, and I'm like, Mom, were we that broke?
Oh, damn.
And I was eating icing, I was eating biscuits. You know what I mean?
Eating whatever.
Eating everything. You know what I mean? And like, I was real mean too about the food. Like I was like
mean about food.
Mean, dude. Like if anybody touched my food, wasn't I mean about the food in the house? I was mean. Like I had first dibs on the food.
I have an emotional connection to food too.
Yeah.
If someone ate my leftovers, if I was thinking about them all day and I came home to a fridge with no leftovers, I would kill.
Oh
my God.
Dude,
enraged.
Fight everyone in the house. So what was your household like, your household environment? Was it just you?
My household environment, I grew up, mainly I stayed with my mom. So it was me, I have a sister who's younger than me. She's 30 now.
Yeah.
About to have my niece next week.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it was just us two growing up. But my mom ended up getting married 3 more times.
Yeah.
So she was married a total, I call it marriage, but she was heavily engaged to somebody for 12 years.
Yeah.
So it was several different figures of men, I guess, the father figure, and I was like, I was a very rebellious child.
Yeah.
No one was going to tell me what to do. I didn't care who it was.
Oh, yeah,
Them,
that's how she
her.
was.
Really? Was that you?
Yeah.
Those are the best kids, though. Like,
Yeah.
listen, you think for yourself.
I was strong enough not to allow that. God bless my mom's heart, but I had never let no man come up in that house until. And she says she waited.
They were good men.
But as soon
Yeah.
as I left, there was a man in the house. As soon as I started selling insurance, somehow you let her bring something home.
Well, I was like, I don't like your boyfriend, and his response, as long as she's happy, you should
Shit.
do it.
And that's the right response. But if he sucks, then you got to get rid of him.
Oh, he sucked. He was horrible.
Like, if your mother can do better, you need to say.
Oh my God,
I
dude.
tell my mom that all the time.
This dude was a whale. I was so pissed.
a whale.
Fuck, massive. And I was mad. Like, I'd come home and visit. I came home and visited once. And it was like Christmas Eve, and the Christmas Eve idea of dinner from him was Burger King or something.
What?
At this point, I'm making like $500,000. Like, I've had steak I refuse to eat it. I still have the cookies in the Christmas dinner, which luckily wasn't Burger King again. And as
Wait,
soon
this
as we
really
get
happened? The
back,
Burger King?
swear to God, they were eating Burger King. Me and my sister were looking at them in disgust. And we were just praying for my mom. And she had been through so much. We allowed it. I love her so much to death. She's going to watch this and she's going to text me and say that wasn't nice. And my mom is doing so phenomenal. She's the lightest she's been in 20 years. She's been single
great.
now a year. We're going to
Go
find
mom.
her a beautiful, amazing husband in a couple years or something down the road or never. Or we get you a couple more bulldogs. I'm hoping,
She's
yeah.
smart.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be alone forever. I was
Yes.
like, the goal is just to get, a bunch of property and put a little mini house for her beside me or something, and then another one for my sister, and keep everyone close. But
Love that.
yeah, she's the lightest she's ever been. But I can remember that Christmas day. We came back and we were both sick. So I'm like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? They're like, oh well, we ate what they wanted to eat. So you go from Capitol Grill every night to
Grease.
being in the
Fake
Burger King.
meat?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Eartho bait or something.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to find out.
Let's have the Whopper for Christmas. So that was funny. But I 100% agree. So our environment was, I'd say, similar, where it's like, there was when I was really young, I remember like a casual dude that would come over and watch hockey. And then I look back and I'm like, because I was like 12, I'm like, this motherfucker wasn't coming to watch hockey.
Well, obviously not.
I thought he was just
on.
like, he just wanted to be my friend or something. And this dude was young. Remember Keith? He was actually, there was a dude before Keith too. Do you remember the one dude before Keith that tried to kill
I
himself?
love
and
the
dog?
sibling talk. This is how me and my sister talk too.
Do you remember that one dude that tried to
I try to
forget it all? Do you remember that one dude that tried to kill himself and Jabba?
What?
Well, he was
These stories are crazy.
Do you remember that? Like briefly.
He tried, but didn't.
He came home mad one day and was like, "I'm gonna kill everybody." we
time
just
to
got
get
out.
him.
We just got out of a traumatic experience with my dad going to jail. My mom just got out, finds a new nice little Caucasian boyfriend, and one day something happened. He's got the
watch out
dog.
for those
He's got
ones.
the dog. He's holding the dog with a knife.
Oh,
He's
hell
like,
no.
"I'm gonna kill me and the dog." And I'm, Ali, do you remember this?
Thankfully not. I believe you.
Okay, see, because sometimes she won't say. She says I make all our stories up. She had to have been
You're 4 years younger than him.
Yeah.
And how old are you again?
24, so she's 20.
Okay, got it.
And
Yeah.
He was in elementary school.
Yeah, so that one was crazy. I don't know where she would
That
have
is
been.
a wild story. I don't have one.
Luckily,
like
the next one was nice. We would listen. We would listen to Eminem, and he would come over and watch hockey. I thought he was my friend. That guy was probably mid-20s, my age, and my mom had to have been at that time 38.
Listen, you think it's a joke. My mom had my half brother, who is my full brother,
Yeah.
because I love him. He was 24 coming over. My mom was 35.
Yeah.
Cougar.
Yes.
First of all, no hate to 24-year-olds, but I don't think we're there mentally. Like if I'm 35 and he's 24, what would we talk about? When you're not talking really. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
matter.
I'm sitting there like, I'm looking back now like, these motherfuckers fooled me. I'm sitting here thinking
you
it's all
don't
about
know.
Sidney Crosby.
But then, if you realize it was in a romantic capacity that
Yeah.
they were, affiliated, that would make me mad. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, "You're not my dad." I throw out
Yes.
that line, like, "I'm 12,
Yes.
you're 24. Get the hell out of here,
Yes.
man."
Yes.
But now we're cool. Everyone's cool now. I was very angry growing up.
Oh, 1,000%. I was so angry.
But that fueled me.
Yes.
That fueled me to get that, because they would obviously, I'd get punished and they would take away my freedom.
Yeah.
But if I could buy my freedom, then
Yeah.
no one could tell me what to do. So if I had my car, I could drive as late as I wanted, even though there was a curfew, or I
Yeah.
could go wherever. No one could tell me anything. That's really what fueled me
Yeah.
to be a business person.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So as you graduate high school, graduate college, was there any like major events that happened in high school or college that like really changed the trajectory of your life?
High school, I couldn't wait to leave. Like I was very, I didn't enjoy high school. I was
Yeah.
one of those very quiet people. Like you wouldn't even, I was like a mouse. I did not speak.
Yeah.
College, I was too worried about my boyfriend at the time, but I did make a lot of good connections during college. College kind of, academic-wise, really opened my mind up to different subjects.
Yeah.
But nothing prominent that I can think of right now. It wasn't until after college I graduated and I was like tossed into society, and it was like, are you gonna go and make $26,000 a year at this bio job in Pittsburgh, or are you gonna figure out something to do?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not taking a lab job.
Yeah.
And that whole degree was for fun,
So
honestly.
after all that, what did those next couple years look like?
Okay, so I met my first mentor. His name was Jeff. He passed away a couple years ago, but he really introduced me. I became his assistant. He introduced me to real estate.
Okay.
And we were business partners. He was like my best friend. He was the son of the owner of a local real estate company in Newcastle.
Okay.
And he really was the one who showed me, this is how you make money. This is how you deal with people. Because there's a science to it with like,
Yeah.
you know, a social aspect. You know, how do you convey information so someone will trust you to buy something through you?
Yeah.
A house purchase is the most expensive thing most people buy in their entire lives.
Yeah.
And I'm 22 years old at the time, much like what you guys do.
Yeah.
It's a young culture. Why would they trust you? You don't even own a house.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have a utility bill in your name, and you're sitting there selling homes.
Yeah.
So that was my struggle at that point. But Jeff was my mentor, taught me, showed me how much I could make, showed me what I could do, and I became obsessed.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
What were those first few years like then?
Very hard because I was completely shy
Yeah.
from high school. I hated being on the phone. You
Yeah.
have to talk to people on the phone. Nobody knows who you are. At 22, at least in my town, it wasn't cool to be a real estate agent. I was embarrassed
Yeah.
because everyone was like, you just went to college and now you have a real estate license. Now everyone and their mom is a real estate agent. But back then, you know, that was when HGTV was peaking with, you know, doing flips, and it became a cultural thing. But it didn't translate to Newcastle, Pennsylvania, where the average home sale at the time was $80,000.
Yeah.
It wasn't a sustainable life.
Yeah.
And we were just coming off the 2008 crash. This is 2012. So it takes a few years for things to foreclose. People lost their shirts in 2008, and then everything started foreclosing in 2010. Now the market's recovering. It's 2012. Everything's owned by a bank, meaning like
Yeah.
homes-wise, everything's trashed. It's like short selling. It actually was the perfect time for me to get in because it teed me up to participate and be educated and have the access for 2020, 21, 22. It really teed me up for that. But that's honestly how it went for me. That was my path.
Yeah.
So
And so those first few years sucked. What'd your schedule look like those first few years?
first 3 years. Oh, I would go to the office all day. And it's really, real estate's tough because you're kind of like thrown out into the ocean, right? So if I told you right now, go try to find a client to sell something without your connections here. You can't use any connections you've used here. Go out there and try to sell something. What are you going to do? You're going to go meet people. You have to network.
Yeah.
I started creating relationships. And I used to call people on the phone and just try to desensitize myself from rejection. Like I knew the phone call would hurt my ego, but I have to not care about it.
Yeah.
So it taught me how to speak. So I would just do drills really. And then I got my first client, and I hope he doesn't watch this, but he had this trailer for sale down in, I forget, I think it was West Pittsburgh, and it stunk so bad. And I couldn't, this is my first client, so you can imagine I'm like excited. You know, I get to list somebody's property and sell it, but it was dirty, and I was like, I didn't know how to tell him this is not how you prepare a property to sell. I didn't have any experience. I wasn't going to tell him that. And it just went down in flames, but it was an education. Honestly, he was an education at my expense, unfortunately. He did end up selling it, but not through me.
Yeah.
It was through someone else.
Reminds me a lot of when I was selling insurance real hardcore, all all the trailers that had that ammonia, that
I don't know
cat.
like dog, I don't know, piss.
Something crazy in there.
And that's no hate. Like, obviously, he gave me a chance.
Yeah.
And I will appreciate him forever for that.
Yeah.
But I remember the anxiety that it gave me. I remember just feeling like lost. Like, sometimes you talk to people. Now I talk to people like in their 20s, and they're not all like you guys.
Yeah,
They're. I'm not saying I'm so far removed from 20s. I'm talking like teenagers, like 19, 20, and they don't know how to deal with some issues.
Yeah.
With real estate, there's a lot of issues because it's personal.
Yes.
These are someone's personal house. They sleep here every night. They're attached to it, and to deal with issues, it's not. You have to learn.
Yeah.
It's hard.
1000%.
Stressful.
So when did you get your first big breakthrough and you knew you were going places? You knew you were making it. You were self-sufficient. Start to live lavishly.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to talk too much. I don't ever.
You don't gotta say numbers or anything.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to ever come across like I'm not grateful. I know how blessed I am and how wonderful my life has been. But I think it was like the first like 5-digit check.
Yeah.
I was like, holy, I've never seen money like this before. You know.
Yeah.
And that was probably 3 years in.
Yeah.
3 years in.
So why didn't you quit? You know what I mean? It took you 3 years. Yeah.
Because
so
then you realize there's levels to this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm really not that high up. I'm like, oh, I got so much farther than I ever thought I could be. Like not being able to afford appetizers at Edwards. Like I remember I could not afford an appetizer at Edwards.
Yeah.
At 18. And then being able to fly wherever I wanted or do whatever. I think buying my first rental property, because I still lived at home. I didn't buy my first house and move out until I was 26. But it took me until I was 24 to start making 6 figures. And that was huge because no one in my family made that much money.
Yeah, no one in Newcastle makes that much money.
And to be able to bless them was probably the most fulfilling thing. I'm sure you can relate. Like to be able to buy your mom something or buy groceries or pay a bill or do something. It's like the most fulfilling and cool thing someone could ever do. And if you're ever blessed enough to be able to bless someone else, it's so dope. Yeah. It's so cool. So it's probably 24, 25, and I bought my first rental. I still have it. I'm selling it now. But I bought my first rental, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. I'm still living at home, so I'm saving money. I'm making money. But then that was a weird dynamic, too, because I don't even have my own house, and now I'm a landlord to someone else. Yeah. It's so weird. To me, it was weird. But it was probably 25. That's when I knew I was going to make it. I was like, I found my niche. I didn't make a mistake not going to grad school because that was the biggest thing over my head. My first year, I made $9,000. Yeah. And that was working all day, every day.
Yeah, like that's awesome.
I was lucky because I had a safety net. I lived with my grandparents at the time. Yeah. And that was the only way I could have afforded to do it. Yeah. Because I can't live off $9,000. You know what I mean? I was bartending too, but in real estate, it was $9,000. And I was doing rentals. Yeah. I was doing property management. I was managing properties that would get shot up. Yeah. It was not worth what I was getting paid. I eventually left that gig. Yeah. But yeah, I was showing rentals for like $300 a month in Newcastle, the South Side. Like that was me. Like I was determined to be successful in this business. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what about now that, we're kind of caught up to the present, kind of went through everything, but what's kind of been some of your favorite projects over your whole, if you were to review your entire 10-year career, what's kind of been some of the favorite things you've done, 2-3 things over the last 10 years?
Isn't it funny how the good ones don't stick out as much as the bad? Yeah. Which I should change that mindset. What has stuck out? I should have come prepared. What has been good? I mean, my first sale in Florida was a huge triumph for me. Yeah. I was so excited.
When was that?
That was 2 or 3 years ago.
Let's go.
Yeah, Fort Myers. I sold a house.
Yeah.
Every time I sell a house in Florida, I'm excited. It's just the volume's higher, so you get paid more. Yeah. It's like a bigger payday. Yeah. And I fly down. It's like a vacation. I get clients down there. They trust me. I understand the market, so I can articulately and help them in an educational way on how to buy. I'm not saying it's just like easy. But every time I just fly down, I sell the house, I fly back. It's a really cool gig. Yeah. And I don't know, just getting my broker's license, which is an elevated license from an agent's license. Yeah. That was a feat. That was in 2017.
So do you have your own brokerage then?
I'm in the works of acquiring one.
Yeah. So is it easier to acquire than to initially develop your own? Like acquire, like by buying, like are you saying like buying a book of business?
One. Yeah, I would be acquiring an existing one.
Yes.
That one, I would prefer to do that than starting one from the ground up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what we did here.
Yeah, is that what you did?
Yeah,
you
so the guy,
something.
Yeah, we absorbed. So the gentleman, shout out Bob Olson, he had retired, 20 years in the business. I won't say the specific number, but he makes over 6 figures a month just in passive income.
Amazing.
From the 20 years he did in the insurance industry with AIL.
That's the dream.
Exactly. And so when he retired, the book of business, essentially the territory and everything transitioned over to Simon and I. So we got the opportunity and then we just capitalized on it. And again, Simon is, so his individual agency, he built that as a ground up. You know what I mean? So he's got the largest ground up, startup, individually owned agency out of American Income Life history. So, I always give him, shout out and kudos for that because this shit damn near killed me just trying to do this partnership out here.
I can't even imagine. Yeah, one day I'd like to meet him because he's been very inspiring just from like a, internet persona. Just seeing what he's been able to build.
He'd get you on his podcast too.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
He'd get you on his podcast.
He inspires so many young people.
Yeah.
Which is very important, especially in our society, because I feel like we're headed for doom.
Yes.
So we need positive influence.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I've had some wild stories. I've had some bad ones.
What are some of the wild ones?
I had to sue my last broker. I won though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He wasn't paying me.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Well, that's a wild thing, especially as you elevate. I always tell guys, because when people will kind of speculate and be like, well, I want that position. Well, you have to realize as you add a zero to your paycheck, as you add to really more so, I'd say if your finance, your business, everything like that, you'll start to realize there's duality in life where there's positivity, there's also an equal amount of negativity. Where people
need it though.
You need it, you know what I mean? Because there's way more lesson, there's way more appreciation. You said the bad ones stick out more than the good ones, but it's a good thing because the bad ones, I guess they can. It's optional for you to kind of sit, absorb, and see what you could have done better and then what you shouldn't have done so you can reflect and then take that wisdom, apply it to the future so you don't make the same mistake over and over again.
Agreed.
But, I completely agree with you because I think also people will overanalyze the surface level of the success that they admire and they want to acquire or they want to develop from somebody else, somebody watching this, some young person watching this wanting to get into real estate or in real estate. It's like, man, I'd love to just, trade. Must be nice. You hear that a lot. Must be nice.
That pisses me off more than anything. Must be nice. Yeah, I used to walk in houses with roaches.
Yeah.
Or come home with fleas on my legs.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me must be nice.
The
I
piss
deserve
houses,
everything
the
I have.
fleas, 3 years, the first year of $9,000, where a lot of people, it's like, if they don't, they want to make $9,000 their first week, their first month, and then if they don't, they get so involved in that mental space of just egomania.
The ego's gross.
It's disgusting.
It's gross.
And then they end up. That's why I asked you because it was a setup question for the listener to question yourself when you're sitting here thinking whatever you're doing right now. Maybe you're in some type of sport or something, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I'm just not getting the results that I want. Well, it's like you've got to be willing to put yourself in a position mentally, physically, spiritually of like visualizing where you could be and realizing what you're going through right now is the cost of where you want to be. You know what I mean? So it's like, a lot of people, and when I do officially pull the trigger on the Lambo is, I want to post, the price, but I really will have something real subtle in the description and the caption, and it'll be like, you see the price that the market put on the Lambo, but you don't see the price that the game put on the Lambo.
You don't.
And the price was early mornings and late nights and living at the office and all the people that quit on me, all the chargebacks and all the things that I experienced in the business that would take a lot of individuals out. And when they're like, oh man, it must be nice. And it's like, it's all good, Well,
it's
a bunch of FaceTimes.
Oops. It's a good equalizer because I've mentored at first about 4 years ago. I used to take on people who were brand new, like brand new people wanted to be agents. And I was like, well, someone mentored me. I want to pay it forward and do that. Waste of my time.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Waste of my time.
And I heard the real estate market's extremely overflooded with like just like you had said, everybody and their mothers in real estate, where it's like everybody's got a real estate license. What's the price and the average cost of acquiring a real estate license right now?
It's cheap. I mean, it probably to get the education's probably like $500.
Yeah. Then
you take a test, it probably costs $100. You're an agent.
Yeah.
The barrier of entry is extremely low.
How long does it take the average person to pass all the education requirements tests?
You could probably do it within a month.
Within a month?
Yeah.
So that puts it in perspective. Life insurance, I'd say it's probably $500, $600 in Illinois, but you can get it done in a day. You know what I mean? You could be
I
selling
bought the
insurance.
education, actually. Fun fact, a couple years ago.
Yeah, for life insurance?
I was curious. I was like, could I do both?
Well, a big thing is mortgage protection. You know what I mean? So I always tell people that are like, if I do find someone in real estate, I'm like, dude, you're already selling homes. Why don't you hit a double whammy them and just sell them? Why don't we
Let's
protect
talk about
your
this
mortgage?
off camera. I love multiple streams. I'm a lender too, a mortgage lender too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, Simon took me to a networking event with John Maxwell. There was this massive mortgage lender guy, like 100 millionaire in his 30s. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Fuck. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, mortgage lending? You know what I mean? That doesn't look appealing. I guess life insurance doesn't too, from the outside looking in. And then you get in it, it's like, man, this money's great. But
yeah,
that's dope. Anything else you do?
So I flip homes.
I was gonna say I saw recently you said HGTV, and then I saw you were putting together some type of like series of like documenting and flipping something.
We filmed a pilot for NBC, some little 3-letter thing. I don't know. We filmed a pilot. They were going to pitch it. They're still in the works. They tell me. I don't know. It was called Road to Close. We had a premiere.
Yeah.
We had an hour-long show. They put it on CBS and NBC. My segment tested best. He told me. I'm just telling you what he told me. And then so it became like my segment was called the Real segment, where I brought them through this shitty house, this crappy house. And I just kind of like ripped it apart, because that's what I do normally. Like when I buy property and rehab it, you know, you see the non-beautiful part. Yeah. And it was just, this house looked like, I don't know if it was mold or if it was burnt. It was just disgusting. And just my commentary is what made the segment. Yeah. So they're working on selling that, but I don't know what's going on. I think writers on strike or something. I don't know. Production's slow. That's a thing. Yeah. So we were doing that. I flip houses. I own rental properties. I'm currently, my next thing is going to be buying a multi-unit in Pittsburgh and then buying my Florida home in Florida. So I don't know which.
And you're going to stay in Florida?
I'm going to maybe claim residency because there's tax benefits. But
what about everybody going to Costa Rica?
Oh, because there's no income tax?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing as Florida. Is it a major difference?
I like America. I haven't researched Costa Rica. It's cheaper.
Yeah. It's a jurisdiction, I think, of America. But
is it an American territory?
I want to say it's an American territory.
News to me, I don't know.
Someone made me feel like it, because I was like, Costa Rica, I'm staying in America. And they're like, it's American territory. I was like, I didn't fucking know. So,
I don't know.
I had no idea.
I knew Puerto Rico was an American territory. I didn't know, because news to me. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But no, I want to be in Florida. Like that's and then ultimately, I want to retire in Orange County, California. Yeah.
Cali.
I don't like the politics in California. No. Have you been to the Pacific Coast Highway? Yeah. Have you been to Corona Del Mar?
Yeah, horrible.
What?
No, I'm playing. I've never been. I've never been to California.
Oh my God, is it gorgeous?
All I think about is California. I think of Sons of Anarchy. I would only go there if I like could ride a bike and had that hair. You know what I mean? Like slick back hair.
I mean, I'm sure you could make that happen if you wanted it to.
No,
I think.
My shit grows out like a fro.
Okay.
So it wouldn't work.
But yeah, that's ultimately, I want to be able to afford like something, maybe oceanfront. You gotta have big dreams, people.
Yeah, you gotta be a billionaire out there.
I mean,
huge dreams.
The house I want right now probably costs $7 million.
Oh, that ain't horrible.
Nah.
And it's a big house.
Nice.
Out in Orange County.
Yeah. Gated.
$7 million.
Don't sit there and be like, oh, it's cheap. Oh. It's a lot of money, dude.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, because
taxes suck though. It's 13% income tax.
Yeah, and then you can't have guns, but the ops can. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So it's like,
can you not have guns in California?
I'm 1,000% sure you can. I don't think you can have a knife. I think they eat with just forks and spoons.
Use their hands, their mouths.
Yeah, like I don't think they use sporks. You know what I mean? Like can't even have crazy fork. You know what I mean?
We have to come up with a different weapon then.
And then also in California, I'm pretty sure anything under like $1,000 worth of like criminal activity, they don't like regulate.
Didn't they defunded the police out there, didn't they?
Defund the police. I think squatting's allowed, so it's like someone could just move in with you.
They have some weird rules. That's LA County. Don't get it confused.
I don't know, dog. You just come home to your crib.
Listen.
Hey, what up, man? Who the fuck are you? I'm your new roommate.
Oh, God forbid.
No, you're not. Yes, the fuck I am.
Oh, my God. That wouldn't happen to me. But no, I mean, the place, I guess I'll tell you another story that inspired me, right?
Okay.
That really just... I was feeling kind of stagnant. 2020 was happening where the world shut down. It really affected me. I live by myself. Yeah. And I use the gym as my outlet for my mental. You know, it's very important to my mental. And obviously seeing people is very important to my mental. Yeah. So the fact that I was isolated during the pandemic, I feel like the wind stopped too. It was like I remember that the exact moment they were like everything's
This is like the conversation
done.
we had the other day.
It was like, oh, what do I do now? I thought I was gonna have to change careers. So I went to Florida. My flight was $17. I was wearing like, just all this stuff. And my best friend, her parents just built a house in Jupiter, Florida.
Wow.
In Palm Beach County. And we were that's why I got my Florida license. Cause like, oh, well, DeSantis is letting us work.
Yeah.
I hated Governor Wolf at the time. I was like, we're not essential warehousing. So and during that time too, I had one of my friends, he's from Pittsburgh, he's very successful. Yeah. And he was like, why don't you come out to Cali and visit? So I came out, I went there, it was like January 2021. And I never saw how he lived. Yeah. Now he's ultra successful. I'm talking about gated communities, exotic cars, connections, and the most humble human being. Yeah. But entrepreneur, mindset, very in tune with himself. I mean, his company's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's in all different aspects of this company. And I was like, this is where I want to be. I was at that point, I just turned 30. And I thought I did well for the era. Then I was like, whoa, here we go. Levels to this. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I need to figure it out. So that's when I started flipping more. Yeah. And I was like, how do I go off in tangents and make multiple streams? Because I want that what he has. I would be so like a goal is just to be able to have the gate. Yeah. I want the gate. I don't know. Just to like shut people out. You can't come in here. You know what I mean? I want the gate. Yeah. But it was just gorgeous. I remember I don't know. You have to see Orange County to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, that sounds fire.
So,
Jets. I mean, I was never on a jet before. Yeah. I mean, got to be on a jet. I'm like, this is no TSA. Yeah. Imagine that being like the highlight of a jet. Yes. Like just no TSA. Yeah. And you can you roll up. They valet your car. Go. Honestly, that's what inspired me to want to get my pilot's license.
Oh wow, do you have that?
No, but that's my next goal is to get my pilot's license.
Oh shit.
Because you can just charter a plane.
Oh.
And I'll fly it.
I don't know. I would fall asleep.
You don't like? So are you afraid of flying?
No, I love flying, but like if I sit too long, I'll fall asleep.
I don't have that problem at all. I don't sleep.
No, see, I'll act like I have to be.
And that's not a flex. I hate not sleeping.
Yeah, no, I have to be moving or I'm gonna fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like I was getting my hair cut this morning. Right up there, I have the barber come in, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta wake up. I'm trying to cut your hair." I was like, "Oh, my bad, bro. You were taking too long."
Where does your mind go?
To a darkness, and then everything.
So
goes
it
black.
shuts off. It doesn't go anywhere. You can just relax.
I don't dream.
You can.
Yep.
You don't dream?
I nightmare, but I don't dream. I don't have
Do you have regular nightmares?
No, not really. You know what I mean? Usually it's me just saving the world all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like.
So you feel like you have to be the hero?
Yeah. Yep. I stopped dreaming after 6. That's when my brain shut off.
Oh my God.
What? Dude? What? I'm not embellishing.
Listen, I saw him go there. He does that.
I'm not embellishing.
Like, I went to a dark place. I'm just the hero.
You probably don't dream either.
Dude, wake up. He's dreaming
You
right
probably
now.
don't dream either. Do you dream?
What?
What was your dream last night?
I don't remember.
Exactly. Because you had a nightmare. Yeah.
I have dreams, but they're very weird.
Yeah. See, mine are crazy. Usually, once a month, I'll get a real crazy one, like a bear. That's my go-to.
Oh, so you're you have to get out of a stressful situation. Yeah. You don't fly around.
No flying. Usually, bears or demons I'm fighting. Literal. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean? I struggle with sleep paralysis. You ever had sleep paralysis?
Like lucid dreaming?
Where you're no, I don't know about lucid dreaming. More like you're stuck and there's a thing crawling over to you. It's trying to kill you.
I've had that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I fight them and I win. That's my dream.
No, yeah.
I usually overpower that force.
Well, at first I'm really scared, and then over time I'm talking to myself because sometimes it'll take forever to come about.
What? To wake yourself up?
Yeah, I'm fuck, dude, wake up. Well, you're stuck.
Mine used to happen so many times. You have to have a word or something in your sleep, and it's then your brain is oh wait, it's not real. Your brain clicks.
Dude, the worst was it happened in class once. I was in high school, and I
in front of people.
In front of people, and I'm stuck to the desk, and I could feel myself fucking having an exorcism.
Wait, can you do that one more time?
I was I'm stuck on the desk, and I don't know, because usually like I'm yelling in like that, so I don't know like if anybody heard me, because it was probably like, you know what I mean? So it's like, that was a really bad one. That one was like vividly, I can remember.
Well, were you embarrassed? I'd be so embarrassed if someone saw me sleeping.
No, I was a really crazy. I got expelled. So your sophomore year, I was done. So
were you fighting or just yelling at the teachers?
Combination of all, more of like just being just a jackass. But there was one major fight I had, saved her, and
I wasn't involved.
no, I'm just like no.
I don't even know what's. Am I dreaming? I don't know what's real right now.
No, that one is real. That it wasn't. She wasn't involved, but there was a major fight, and I was just talking back. And you know, in school a lot, ISS, so you know, all that. I like lived in ISS. I would say from like 5th grade to 10th grade, I'd say at least a fourth of my time was in ISS.
Just being angry, and you're like,
angry,
why am I here? This is a waste of my
talking,
time.
yeah, exactly.
I've got other shit to deal with.
Yeah, I wasn't very passionate about anything. Again, there was nothing like very tangible. I think it was a good thing that people should take away. When she felt down, if you didn't get notes, like I got mental notes of like when she felt down, she networked, found a friend at a higher level, went out, and you physically touch, see, smell a higher level of life. That's a huge way to just kind of regenerate that fire and that flame inside of you, regardless of what you're in. Regardless, just remind yourself. You got to feel it. You know, I know we all walk by faith, but we're not Jesus. You know what I mean? We got to feel it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not the savior.
Yeah, no, we got to like touch it a little bit. Like,
No,
I can have
You're
this.
so true. I had to see it, like to feel a jet, to
Yes.
like be in these circles with other like
Yes.
people performing at the top,
Yeah.
highest level,
Yeah.
and then them having mentors,
Yeah.
and seeing that this is real. This can actually happen.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
you have to have. Relentless self-belief to be successful in at least come from like where we came from.
Yeah, facts.
There's no, it's just, I feel like I'm the only one in my family like that.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's okay. I just had those desires. So if you don't have those desires, it doesn't make you any less of a person. Not everyone can be, you know, in the same role.
Yeah.
For instance, my sister has 2 children now.
Yeah.
I don't have children. I don't really have a desire at this point to have children.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We're both happy in our own right.
Yeah.
But I have a very large desire for progression,
Yeah.
for succession, for just, I want to be able to provide for my niece and nephew. You know, if they need something, because I feel I have this really weird concern that in 30 years when my nephew is my age, that he won't be able to buy a house because all of the hedge funds that I work for, because I work for 2, are buying up single family residences.
Yeah.
And to be able to, and you know what hedge funds do? They never sell them because they funnel the money, they rent.
Yeah.
So I have this like fear that they need to be able to buy property and be homeowners when they're my age. So I want to keep rentals for them, for my niece and nephew, and just like that's my legacy is like my niece and nephew at this. I'm obsessed with them.
Love that.
But yeah, just if you're young now, buy a home. I don't care how much it is. Buy it. You know, rent it out. I can't preach it enough because in 21 when we were having like that craze, that's when all the hedge funds were coming. They have cash. They don't need to mortgage. So when a seller is looking at 2 offers, there were tons of multiple offers, hedge funds can afford to overpower a mortgage buyer.
Yeah.
And it really came down to the seller deciding whether they want to give a family a house or give a hedge fund another asset.
Yeah.
Essentially. And now they dictate the rental market and they can raise it up. It's like you should be very aware of this, what's going on in that type of aspect. And I love my hedge fund. I work for them. I don't want, you know, they're my client. I service them well. But the coin is double-sided for my fellow man. You want to be purchasing property. I don't care where it is.
Yeah.
You need to be buying some real estate.
Fire. So what does future vision look like for you, kind of? I mean, you really kind of touched on it, you know what I mean? You want to live in Orange County, maybe get a property in Florida, but is there anything else you like spending money on outside of niece, nephew, working towards Florida? You like, you know, I know you like
traveling. I love experiences. What's
the favorite place you've gone to, and where do you want to go next?
That's a good question. I really want to go to Iceland.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of places I want to go. I want to go to Iceland. I want to see Africa. I want to, and that's a broad statement, Egypt. I want to do the safari.
Yeah. I feel like that's usually what people mean when they say Africa.
Yeah, so the safari. Dubai, for some reason, I really want to see Dubai.
Yeah.
Italy. I mean, I love experiences, but I like to travel with convenience.
Yeah.
Like I want the nice seats. I want
Yeah,
a
yeah,
driver.
yeah.
I want the service. I just went to Hawaii. Have you ever been there?
We're going in May next year.
Oh
Yeah,
my God! What
yeah.
part of Hawaii?
Ooh,
I went to Maui.
I don't know.
There's a few islands.
She's
You going to
supposed to
Big
know.
Island?
Yeah.
It's for the company convention, so it's wherever they're taking us.
Yeah, no. She should know
That
the details.
was the coolest. First of all, the cleanest place I've ever been was Hawaii,
Yeah.
Maui. And it was so spiritual just being there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. They are so strict about their environment.
Yeah.
And how clean it is. So I can't wait for you guys to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like traveling, but I'm excited for Hawaii, kind of.
We'll get the Dreamline seats. You can lay down.
Well, yeah, no. Definitely getting the nicest seats, but I'm still upset. Like, if it's going to probably be a 6-hour flight, I imagine, from here at
6
least.
hour. Oh, I forgot where we were. Yeah.
Chicago, right?
It took me 13 hours to get there.
Tristan, I looked, it's like 10
Shut up. So, no, shut up.
You're just sleeping anyway. You have a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, but like 10 hours is a lot. Like even though sleeping a lot, like I still won't get more than like 7 hours.
Just go at night or something. Or just fly to Cali first.
That's what.
Make a trip out of it.
That's what her man friend told us to do.
Her man friend.
Yeah.
Do you like her man friend?
Yeah, he's good. He's a nice guy. He tries his best.
He tries his best.
What?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Tries his best. Listen to him. That's a big brother statement.
Yeah, he's trying. So, but
That's funny. He's gonna see this. Clip it.
He probably not. He's soft kind of. He's not.
Oh my God.
This is
He's
long.
what?
I said he's soft kind of. This is too
Is he
long
here
for,
working now?
He's probably taking a nap right now.
Oh, he ain't trying his best then. Get time to get out there. There's like 15 people out there.
Yeah, he's been working here a little over a year, and he said the first year was so hard on him.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
Yeah, traveling. Just I want a lot of property.
Yeah.
As I've just preached, so I can leave a legacy to my niece and nephew.
are you a sit down and relax kind of person? Do you like movies or any?
I do love movies.
What's your favorite top 3?
Oh, they're probably so corny.
Oh God.
I mean, I just watched Titanic because of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But what I love the Marvels.
Paint me like one of your
John
French.
Wick. Yes, that is one line in the Titanic
That's the
movie.
only thing I think about.
It's weird.
I think about
Yeah,
That's the only thing I think
I think
about.
it's a Celine Dion song.
When I was a kid, I was like, well, I'm watching this for this.
That makes sense.
I'm being honest as a man. That's what.
That makes sense.
All right, without me ruining this podcast, what are your other
Ruining it. John Wick. Do you see John Wick?
Love John Wicks.
John Wick 4.
Love the John Wicks.
I want to be like, I don't know, a sniper or an assassin because of John Wick.
I gotta be careful
Look at my
watching movies,
outfit.
yeah.
Like, I will be John Wick.
Yes.
If I could.
I love the John Wicks. I like the Equalizers too. It's like the black version.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's clear. It's the black version. It's the same deal, but
It's
it's
just a
Denzel Washington.
version of. Okay. Taken was good. Marvel. You watch
I
Marvel?
love all Marvel. All Marvel. I'm worried in regard to
Endgame.
like Endgame's fire. I'm worried in regard to like just Hollywood in general. You know what's gonna happen with just movies and shows and things like that. Just with how politically
I'm so
watered down
over
and
it.
inclusive everything is. And I don't have kids, so I'm not too inspired to watch this movie. But there's a lot of people that I agree with their views that are talking about Sound of Freedom, which is. Do you know anything about it?
So I cried for an hour yesterday talking about the problem of human trafficking. Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
That's basically, but I think it's more highlighted
It's
on like the
disgusting.
child trafficking
Yes,
aspect of it.
child trafficking, because children are just so precious. I'll start bawling again. But I wish that there's something that I could do
Yeah.
to you have that hero spirit.
Yeah.
How can we help them? I don't know where the problem is. I don't know where it is. I don't know how to help them.
I think it's more so than like your typical like impoverished and just uneducated crook. I think it really is like this movie highlights. I think it really is these extremely rich like oligarchs
Disgusting.
in Hollywood
whole
or in the
island
world.
thing, yeah,
Yes. And it's just it's a level of perversion that can't be.
It's evil.
It's evil. You know what I mean? So it's like you'll hear like Alex Jones talk about like this like bohemian thing in like California where like the really rich political figures and people go, and he like went there and like has documented proof of like, and that's what they do. They'll get like kids out there, and it's like it's extremely disgusting. And I think one thing for me, it's like, you know, that's like I think I still look at her as like 10. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like You know what I mean?
I
She'll be
mean-
like, I'm walking over there. I'm like, no, you're not walking nowhere. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel you though. When I go out to like shopping with my sister, she was pregnant. She's about to have my niece next week, like I said, and she has my nephew, and we're at Target.
yeah.
I try to be the Secret Service. Literally, I am aware of who's around.
Yeah, you have to be.
I'm not shopping. I am supervising every weirdo who looks our way. Like I'm standing behind her. I'm watching. She puts the baby in the car. I'm in front of them, and I'm just like a small chick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have to be aware. Like I don't trust
surroundings.
anyone. I'm ultra paranoid when it comes to like.
Have you ever had anything weird put on your car? I know the Jeeps do the ducks, but like I know like, you know, so like I
My
feel
friend
like,
has an Irvine.
What
in
is it?
Cali. In Irvine, California.
Yeah.
She was getting bagels one morning and she noticed some men. I mean, as women, we know we get stared at, whatever.
Yeah.
There's men are pigs sometimes. And
a lot of the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And she was, you know, a little bit aware that these guys were staring at her in a car, and it was just like, you know, rude. Like to stare, you're gonna notice somebody staring at you. So if I was a criminal, I would be, you know, not staring.
Yeah.
So she went to go get bagels and came back out, and there was one of those $100 bills on her windshield, and she knew right away who it was. She was like, I got in my car, I sped away, but just getting bagels.
Yeah.
Like what? Because they're probably getting paid so well that they don't even care about human life anymore. You're now a commodity.
Yeah.
You're now a piece of merchandise.
Yeah.
That's sickening.
I saw a scientific fact though, not to defend men, as I'm a man, but I saw a scientific fact that stated that the way men and women perceive the world is completely different. Like it really is.
I mean, we're all different.
It's
see it
physical
differently.
and emotional, whereas a man
Yeah.
will objectify
Absolutely. They're visual.
everything initially. Like scientific, like our chemicals will immediately look at an object, and if it can't be sexualized, then the way we treat it is different. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's like,
Interesting.
which I don't know how true that. And I think with anything, it's like a muscle you can kind of develop.
How do you
'cause-
even quantify that?
So here's something that I think all young men can take into consideration. My first serious relationship that I guess got out of a year or so ago, but I remember getting into that relationship. I feel like men, I don't know if women have like wandering eyes, but as like men, it's like you have the eyes of like you're looking around, like, oh,
Yes.
she's attractive. I like that.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it might be a little more. I don't know. Maybe it
Intense
is
for men?
for a man. Like
I
you know
would
what I mean?
assume so.
Because women might think like, oh, I wonder if he'd make me laugh, and a man might be thinking like,
Oh, that's so true. What's the utility of this woman?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking, well, okay, so because men are like, if they don't think he's her 10, like if he doesn't see that her being
a man
hot,
is not thinking like, can she make me laugh?
does she, you know, work? I mean, that's like secondary, you
Yeah,
know?
no.
Yeah, it's
Man,
almost like,
I don't think.
I don't care if she has a job if she's a 10.
But I remember, and I'm not very religious, but I remember getting into this relationship, and very immediately, in my affirmations and in my self-talk, knowing I was already 2-3 years into the business and knowing how powerful all of that was, I remember very, very immediately telling myself, anytime I saw a woman, like praying over my eyes, don't let my eyes wander, don't let my mind wander. Excuse me, I just want to be focused on my girl. And not even in a lustful manner at all times. And I literally changed like the layout of my mind and how I perceive women, where it isn't just immediately lust. It isn't just immediately
Thank God
sexual.
that you were aware of that.
And you can't change it. I think if most men can agree, like that's just how we're wired. But you can, like a muscle, you have to. I think it's self-talk and it's having vision of where you want your mind to be. Because I can tell you from experience as a man, as you get older, it's like, yeah, you know, that's fun. We're all adults in this room, and but it's a few minutes of fun, and then you're with this person for years. You know what I mean? What's the intention behind it? Do you want
There's
a
repercussions
monogamous
for these things.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I want to be able to actually have like a congruent relationship, opposed to just like, oh, you know, we're just gonna have, you know, this physical exchange, opposed to like, what can we really build off of? Like, can I not just tolerate you? Can we like get along and build something and have value
and be friends and be, you know, teammates?
Yes.
Well, is that nature or is that nurture? Because you were saying that you were able to rewire how you looked
Yeah.
at women. So to me, that would sound like an environmental thing.
Yeah, but I think it was a combination of environmental, of being around men that are like seeing Simon and aspiring to have like that marriage where it's like, dude, you can be successful and not be like a freak, not being a pervert, not just look successful, but behind closed doors, actually like, no, like you can put it out there, oh, I don't cheat, but like, nah, this dude like has never like cheated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and like really desiring that in a world where it's like, I think in America, divorce rates
Over
are
60%.
like 60+%. And I think you and I both know, like, not every single parent household is going to produce children like the three of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's like there's competency, there's values, there's virtues, and there's things that we have just put in place for our lives from self-development. I would say 90% of single-parent households lead into an even more broken...
I could have been a statistic.
A statistic.
I could still be back there, you know, just like chilling.
With a bunch of kids, and this is what I say, kids from broken households just create kids from broken households. So you're young, you have more kids.
I don't want to get married 4 times.
Exactly.
So when I find, I love what you're saying.
You know?
Bravo to that, because I wish more men talked like that, because I have a desire to have a partner, you know, that wants to be friends with me, who doesn't look at me like an object, but also
it all goes away.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't matter how much money you got. I mean, like, look at these multi-hundred millionaires in Hollywood. Like, that's all they care about is their image. It's like, Sylvester Stallone looks weird now. You know what I mean? That's not like, wow. I can't imagine a girl being like, look at that.
But see, it's different for women. See how they look at things.
Yes, yeah,
because
true.
women will, if a man can provide, compensate his looks.
Yeah.
And that's why I almost wanted to. You ever see that clip of Cher where she's like in an interview and they're like, Cher, why aren't you married yet? And,
oh my God, yeah.
And she's like, yeah, my mother told me to sit down and marry a rich man. She said, Mom, I am the rich man.
Yeah.
I love that quote. So I felt like and I still feel now that I have to be the man and the woman in my life.
And it sucks that it doesn't suck, but it kind of sucks that we've created a society of such weak men that the women have to independently kind of take over. And I put up the other day on like what I have a non-negotiable list of like what I'm looking for in my future wife. And
I always have a non-negotiable list to anyone out there.
Yeah?
Yes.
I just created one because one of the girls in our office inspired me to create one, because I was like, I got a mental one, but I wasn't like physically visiting it and like reminding myself, you know what I mean, of like, this is what I'm looking for, opposed to like, it is what it is. But I put on there, it's like with the virtues of like, I believe in equality in the household of like, I know how to do a lot of things that the average dude doesn't know how to do. Like, she always jokes, and you know, I don't know, like she says like her boyfriend doesn't know how to make toast. Like, she might be joking, but like me, dog, I could cook better than her. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, I'm just playing. But I can cook, I can do my own laundry and things. So it's not like I don't look at
these are basic things, yes.
But I don't look as a woman like a typical dude of like, oh yeah, she just got to take care of the house. Like, that's not like my
That's number one.
vision of like, I don't need you to take. Honestly, I'm so like OCD of my personal shit. Like, I might get irritated if you did do my shit and didn't do it the way I like it.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to do it myself because I am so OCD and like neat of like, this is why I want this is why I want this. So it's like, it'd be better if you just did your shit and I'll do my shit. Just make sure your shit isn't like, you know, messed up or dirty.
Yes.
But I don't look at a woman as like, oh, she's just got to be the household provider, cooker. It's like, as long as there's communication, I can do my own shit. You do yours. Let me know how I can help you.
Yeah.
But I also want to know that like, want her to know like, if she's got aspirations of being a billionaire, my ego isn't tied to like my wealth, my business of like, if she were to be richer than me, it's like, I ain't gonna be sitting here like, wow,
damn,
this sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
terrible.
This is horrible. She's rich too. It's like, go do it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I support
and thrive,
you.
and
do what
because
you want.
we have our own lives, and sometimes when they say like I'm now half of him, I don't like that.
Yeah.
When like that's my other half. No, you should be 2 wholes.
Yes.
I don't want to give up half of me.
Yes, I like that. Coming together, 2 whole individuals that come together. And that's when I think it really makes sense, when you make it make sense of like a successful relationship of like 2 people where people are like, I think people are broken and then they think that someone else is going to heal them, where it's like, you got to just go inside and heal your own shit before you go and try to heal somebody else.
Honestly, it took me years. I came out of a bad, not a bad relationship. I suffered badly from the breakup.
Yeah.
And I had to heal. And finally, I feel like this last year or two, or last year really, I figured out my identity and who I really am and what I really want. And I'm finally at a place where I'm not going to be carrying any baggage or anything bad into it. The next relationship, which I hope is my last one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not about like dating around and things like that. I date with intention. And if you're someone I think I could have a future with, then I will give you a chance.
Yeah.
If something weird's about you, or I'm not here for the potential.
Yeah.
I'm here for, because that never happens, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The person never changes, which is why I think as women we're taught to bend our boundaries and compromise a little bit, because we just see the good in everything, and that, oh, he'll change. Like if he just gets this together, XYZ, it'll happen. I watch it and I observe.
Yeah.
Observe from all of my friends. It never comes.
Yeah.
And they're sad and they're, why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he just change? He never will.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have, I can't preach enough, have a non-negotiable before you enter your heart into a relationship.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah, you got to be careful though. You know what I mean? If you give a man, like some men out there I know will find those lists and manipulate you. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
they'll find a list and be like, oh, I just got to fake all this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Men are, yeah, they're smart. I mean, anyone who's a manipulator is going to be. So it's gotta. I don't know. I'm the ultimate bachelorette. I really don't know at this point.
Yeah.
I'm hoping like God, the universe will.
That's
lead
what
him.
that's what I told my
Yeah.
sister. She's like, why don't you find a good wife or something? I'm like, shit, dog, point one out.
Did
You
she
know
talk
what
like that?
Yeah, I was like, you find one, dude. You let me know where they at. But I
It
told
should
her
be easy.
Well, and here's what I told her because she's got a good like sense of like I don't know what it is about like
Women
I feel
can
like
read
They
women.
can read like she can like read women. Like she's like that girl's the devil, and I'm like.
We know.
I don't know. Maybe she's cool. Let's bring her in.
No,
Like,
let's
she's like,
bring
no.
her in. Let's contestant
Then
number one.
I do and get like something just gets absolutely fucked up, and
Yeah.
I don't want to tell her she's right, so I'll just wait and never do it.
I think it's a secure
Hey,
person.
you're right.
You need a confident person.
That's the thing, and I think it's that, and I also am like, I'm really and I don't want people to take this the wrong way because I don't believe in like attracting a woman with my wealth or status, but I do believe in like levels of like qualification of like. I saw somebody post the other day of like, oh, that girl must be a gold digger on some social media post. And then I think another girl commented back and just said, no, what if she just has standards, and typically what you'll see is like just a broke dude who will say, oh, she just must be a gold digger because he doesn't want to go out and go work. You know what I mean? So it's like she might just have standards or
Yeah.
vice versa. It doesn't have to be, perspective of like gold digger could be like, well, what if there was like a young dude with a, older woman? It's like, oh, he just must be a gold digger. It's like, I don't know, maybe he
People are
just
gonna say
has vice
shit
versa.
regardless.
Yeah,
I mean,
regardless.
yeah, your TikTok comments say all that. I
Yeah,
read those.
They
Those
go
are
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, they go nuts. But I do think about it. I'm like, you know what? I want to get into because you got to qualify to get into some of these circles. Like they're just not gonna let you
Yeah.
into circles. So it's like I want to get into a couple more levels and see what the circles of women are like in those circles.
Yeah.
Before I'm like, oh, let me just see what is out here at the circle I'm at right now. It's like I'm happy at the circle I'm at right now, but it's like I want to go up there and see. It's like
Caliber.
Yeah,
it's
that
more of a
caliber of
caliber
woman. Yeah, it's like
person.
to
Are you
see.
honest? Are you a loving person? Are
Yeah.
you friendly? Are you compassionate? Are you actually hearing me when I talk? Or are you just
Yeah.
waiting me to shut up so you can talk?
Yeah.
That type. It's little things. Honestly, as I've gotten older, little things that I look for in men, I'm like, oh, he didn't hold that door for me. You honestly, a guy, I went on a date once and the guy did not walk me back to my car. Why am I with you if you're not going to protect me? I can be vulnerable all by myself.
Yep.
But I had to walk. It was at night in a parking garage by myself. I didn't appreciate that.
Sounds like.
And I mean, it
That-
is
I'll-
as a woman.
Trust me, dog.
Yeah.
I know, dude. I'll beat somebody up.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
don't
mean,
hold the door.
listen.
You didn't hold the door for her, dog. What the-
Yeah, it's like you have to, being respectful and appreciating my femininity and things like that.
Yes.
But it's a non-negotiable for me, and I wish more men were like that. They're afraid to be respectful to women these
Yeah.
days. They're afraid to talk on the phone. They're afraid to be honest with how they feel.
Yeah.
Like they're more showy for their friends.
Yes.
Than being.
The top G culture. What are your thoughts on that?
There's aspects to it that are very toxic, I think.
Yeah, I think there's good things of discipline and things he says, and certain things. When I've listened a lot more in depth than just from surface level, but I think some of the young men will manipulate and be like, "Oh, I just got to be her master," and I'm like,
Get me? I'm not the one.
well, and I think quickly people will realize, oh, like a woman that lets you just master her around, maybe
That's
not
not an
be
equal
it might not be the caliber of
pet.
woman that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I think you also brought up a good point in the car too of like, it's like women don't mind if you're claiming to be like the master provider, but just make sure you back up the talk and actually be the provider and protector. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like different if you being like some crazy psycho, or you're just like actually like a gentleman who also takes care of everything. Okay, he takes care of everything, but he's also a really good person.
Yeah, and sometimes the roles can be blended. I mean, I when I'm down, I need you to be stable to give me words of encouragement, or this is what it's really. If I'm being, if I'm upset, lead me out of how upset I am and tell me why I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I need you to be smart. I
Yeah.
can't be dealing with some idiot that's like, oh, it'll be better. It's okay. What the hell is that going to do for me? You better have a solution. You know what I mean? There better be some type of
some competency.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you need to be providing in the sense of security,
Yeah.
in the sense of, you know, mental competency, be
Yeah.
articulate, be poetic. I don't know. Give me a solution when I'm down.
Give me a poem, bitch.
Be creative. Like, figure it out. But like, I'm gonna provide the same thing when my partner's upset
Yeah.
and he's freaking out. I'm like, this is the reality of it. Like, you're looking at it from this
Yeah.
way, but you're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it
I
out.
was bad in that
Yeah.
in the last relationship because I was like, hey, look, I know this is hard right now, and you see me like pour a lot on other people, but I'm going to bed. We're gonna figure this out. I was so tired. So, but I was
Yeah.
that aspect I can admit
But then you
to.
weren't ready yet. That's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
I was
not a
not
negative
good
thing.
in the talking.
Then come back when you're ready.
Yes.
When you have your stuff, you know, your plate spinning and they're you know, automatic or whatever, you can figure out and come and revisit
Yeah.
it. And when you can give somebody the time to nurture a relationship, because you need to give it time.
Yes.
I didn't have that time. I was
Yeah.
too busy building
That's
my
the thing,
infrastructure.
Like, yeah, when you're building and it's like, dude, I'm so exhausted. I'm building, I'm talking. Like all I do is like be a therapist, and then it's like, then if you get into a relationship too soon, it's like right thing, but maybe wrong time, and then you don't have that time to like nurture. Then it's
It was just a lesson.
Yeah.
And like whoever I'm with next has to understand that I deal with a lot of men, and they have to be secure with it. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
interested in these men. I'm not looking at them as objects. I'm really just dealing with business. I'm
think
flying in
men-
here to do business.
I think men are more insecure, and I'm talking from personal experience, than I think even than females. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because we can understand what's really going on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think sometimes like there's seasons of the relationship. It's usually during that honeymoon season, I think, like that initial part where as a man, like our hormones are really enraged with the woman, and we're really like, you know,
Okay.
just I don't know,
interesting.
infatuated. Where it's like a dude might smile at you and be like, "Did you guys just try to fuck?" You know what-
That's happened to
You
me.
know what I mean?
I've been with somebody and he's like, "Did you sleep with him?" I'm like, "What? Ew, what? What are you talking about? He's just my friend." And there's like, "No, he's not." And I'm like,
He might be like 70,
Oh.
might be your dad. There's memes like that. I've shared memes like that with the boys. Like, don't trust no man, not her dad.
but like you have to be the woman who's good at saying no.
Yeah.
I'm very good at with my boundaries with anybody.
Yes.
I'm like, don't talk to me. Like,
Yeah,
like
like-
hang up the phone. Like, I just leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
this is
I
strictly
tell men
business.
off.
Yeah.
I think the society of men today would rather impress other men than women.
Yes.
They're more focused on impressing men as they're insecure.
Yes.
Than impressing
Yeah,
Like-
I'm tough. I'm a top G. That's what that
Yes.
comes. That's what that breeds.
Yeah.
Instead of instilling or empowering confidence, they get insecure. Like, oh, I don't have 9 Bugattis, and I don't, you know, I'm not a top G, and I can't fight everybody. Like that. To me, that makes men insecure.
Yes.
That's like, you know, with Kim K being like the perfect body ratio and being a billionaire and having the perfect hair to women, that to an insecure woman will really bother her, and so
Yeah.
she's trying to like get BBLs and all this.
Yeah.
No hate to people who get plastic surgery, but there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to emulate what
Yeah.
you think is the most
Yeah, yeah.
desirable thing.
Yes. 1,000%. 1,000%. I see that. And man, I've struggled with that. Really, like, but I think as I get older, it's like building a business. It's like learn from your lessons, learn from your mistakes, and just kind of have that list of like, all right, what am I going to do in the next relationship? What's going to be my perspective? What's the mindset? What do I know there's going to be an extreme seasonal stage. Every honeymoon phase, at least I've experienced in like 1 or 2 relationships. At least
It's like a drug.
Yeah, it's a drug, but it comes down. And so that's when you kind of find out like what
That's when you
shit's
find
real.
out who they really are.
Yeah, who they really are. Is this shit
Yep.
real? And it's like, you know, and I think I'm very excited, especially just, you know, I'm like you. I was like, I hope the next one's like the last one. I'm not in a rush though. I'm
Me
sitting here
either.
thinking like,
I'm chilling. Even at 33, women, like, take your time.
yeah.
I'd rather be not in a relationship than be sad with a
Yes.
guy hurting
Yeah.
me. I've watched my friends go through on my
Yep.
second divorce.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
cool.
happy where I am until he can make me happier.
Yep. And I'll take care of niece and nephew. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but
20 years old.
You know what I mean? Like, she can do that for the family, and I'll keep working, dude. Shit.
That's where I'm at too.
You know what I mean?
I don't even know
work.
where to meet men.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know where you meet
The
women.
internet, I guess.
'Cause, like,
I'm
I
not
feel
on
like-
any app. I don't like no
And
dating
this is how I
apps.
know I got to get into a different circle, because like I feel like if I like will try like the gentleman approach to like a woman of like, hey, we should go out and, you know, get dinner or get lunch, and I'm like, no thanks.
No, they're not. They're not going to be that way. Listen, a man asked me to dinner last week, and I told all of my friends because no men are like that.
You're the right caliber woman. I'm talking about go up to the gym and you just, I must just be looking too much with my eyes instead of like doing more research or something, and I have no idea, but and then it just be like, no, sorry, I like abusers, and like,
wait, they've told you got rejected.
No, I'm okay. But then you'll go look and be like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Well, at the gym's kind of weird.
This girl's just at the club. Well, that's the only place I go to is the gym and the work, and I will never fraternize in my workplace. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
you cannot. That's how my last brokerage imploded. He was with one of the agents.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's, I don't know, just the right caliber woman will appreciate, because most men are like, you want to come hang? No, I don't want to hang. What? I don't have time to read this. What do you hang?
What do you want to come hang?
What are we gonna do? You want me to figure it out? You're that's a gender role. You're the man.
Yes.
Please tell me where you would like to take me.
Yes.
Please tell me where I'm meeting you for the first time. What time? What's the attire? Where am I parking? This one dude didn't tell me where to park, and I was circling around the restaurant for like so long, and that I didn't even want to show up because it pissed me off that he didn't tell me where to park.
Like you.
Yeah.
Are you coming in? I left.
Yeah, you didn't tell me where to park, dude.
She would do that. I left. Where the hell did you go?
He was like 3 drinks in. I'm like, I'm leaving.
I love that, and I really think we grew up in Arkansas, and I really, one thing I appreciate from my dad and from my mom too is just like, it was very extreme on like the role as a man is to protect the women, not swear around the women, which I don't do that one, but
it's okay.
because I drop the F word and all that, but not swear around the women, and you hold every door regardless if it's, excuse me, your woman or a younger woman, older woman, it doesn't matter. You hold the door for the women. It's yes ma'am, no ma'am, and all of that, and it's like, you take care of your woman and things like that. So it's like the next woman, and my last ex could tell you like no one is like and it's not like she's not gonna find better. I obviously hope she does find better. It's gonna be hard, but you know what I mean. Like I am like, that's one thing that I miss or am gonna bring to the table is like, dog, a door, you'll never touch it. If you touch a door,
it's very sweet.
My hands were fucking cut off. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's like, there's no way.
But it's that small little thing. It's just so.
Well, I got to make up for it because I'm 5'10". So. So she always, her boyfriend's like 6'4" or something. So she'll always be like, well, we could have Justin since he's 6. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Where I throw Justin through a wall.
I have to make up because I'm 5'10". Well, it depends on the height of the woman too.
It depends on the height of the woman.
If she's 5'2", it's not a big deal.
And then I'll do shoes like that. You know what I mean? I'll be 6 foot real quick. Throw the Jordans on. I'll be 6 foot.
Get you some boots. Dr. Scholl's.
Especially like you said, it's like the height of the woman, and so you can just tell her it's like, hey, listen, I'm 6. You don't want to start with a lie, but you can kind of be like,
wait, have you lied about your height ever? Be honest.
I don't think so. Maybe to my family.
You don't think?
I don't. Yeah.
You have.
Every man has. Any guy under 6 foot has lied about his height. We can tell me you haven't lied about your height. You're under 6 foot? Shit. That's like.
Everybody here is like 5'8", and they all.
I am what? Yeah.
I have noticed that.
But they all swear they're 6 foot. They're like 5'8".
You know what? Maybe it's just an Aries thing.
Yeah.
I've noticed the ones in Wexford. I'm when I wear shoes, I'm like the same height as all of them. But no disrespect. I've just noticed the height. It might be an Italian thing. I don't know.
Yeah. No. They have leg extensions now.
Stop.
I'm not doing them.
You do not need a leg extension.
No, I'm not doing them. I'm going to manifest myself. I just need another.
You're going to grow more, some HGH.
Yeah.
Manifest
I ran
closer
a little bit
to
of HGH,
God.
so I'm hoping that works. So.
That's hilarious. Well, I hope you find a nice person.
Yes. By that, she was like meaning like under 5'10". That's that weird, nice person.
I meant that in a genuine way. But did you ever see that meme? It was real funny. It's like any guy under 6 foot is a friend.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of. She sends them to me or something.
But it's any woman over 5'9" is a teammate.
Yeah,
it's like the same way.
I could see that. So no, I get all the 6 foot memes and shit like that. We had another real estate lady on, and I don't know how this keeps coming up, and we asked her if like height matters, and she had said yes, and then asked her, and she was like, yeah, the only reason I'm dating Justin is because he's 6'4". And I was like, oh.
He's been putting so many words in your mouth.
I'm telling him.
She doesn't have a microphone to defend herself.
Oh, we're setting her one up. We're going to set her one up. That was an idea we had. So
it did. Like when I wrote down my non-negotiables, I was like, okay, 6 feet tall. But like the last guy I was interested in was 5'8". He's very handsome and he's very nice. So
the shorter they are, the sweeter they have to be. because
Oh no, they're usually mean.
yeah, that is.
I have
true.
encountered
It's
men.
that small man complex.
Yes,
So it's like,
who hate women. They hate women.
damn, I don't hate women.
And they drive big trucks.
Damn, I drive a big truck.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's why I said that.
Well, that was it.
Do you road rage?
Oh no, I don't. This is Chicago. You road rage on the wrong person, you can pull an AK-47
Oh,
out.
true. I forgot where
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
I do road rage a little bit. I gotta chill out.
I think it was worse, and this is how I know I've grown, because I used to carry like a knife in the car in high school, and I would like point it at people. like if you cut me off in high school, I'd
I'm
be
gonna
like,
cut you in real life.
yeah, like the monkey in Family Guy. I don't know if you ever watched Family Guy, but like there's like an
I
evil
have
monkey,
sometimes.
and he like holds like, and that was me in high school. Like I swear to God, I got out of the
You
car.
were ready
once.
for whatever.
Yeah, I got out of the car with a knife once, and I was like,
Oh my god.
that would not work here in Chicago.
I've
But-
done some stupid road rage things
Yeah.
where the guy was going too slow and he's flicking me off. So I drove up next to him, but onto oncoming traffic and stared at him and was like, "Let's go!" And he was just like, he was like, "This is a chick." Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I've definitely
that's the
done
Italian.
that.
That's my mom's side in me. But
Yeah,
I've chilled her out.
Yeah, see, had to calm down, and especially just as you build up, you start to meet people as you're building up your your identity and things like that. You'll start to meet people that have lost people in car accidents.
That's where the empathy comes in. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying, just because of my ego, I'm gonna chill it out. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. I like my peace.
And I used to do stunts in the car too, and that's what really kind of calmed me down. Is because
Mm.
like I have people reach out and be like, man, this one guy really hit me, because I would used to get out of the car while I was driving it, like on the
Like
highway.
ghost ride it.
And ghost ride. Yeah, I'd sit like on the what the fuck, the windshield or whatever. I'd sit there. You know what I mean? And like 70 miles per hour, and I'd take like Snapchats or something of
Oh
me
my
like, out of the
God.
car. And this one guy slid up on my story once. He was like, "Bro, I look up to you so much, but when you do this, it reminds me of my brother died in a car accident."
Oh.
And I had one other person tell me something like that before, and I was like, "All right, dude,
I'm glad they
I'm
said
not
that to
gonna
you.
die."
They could have saved your life.
Could have saved my life. Could have saved another young woman's life, or something like. It's like I could have thrown everything away by, I think involuntary manslaughter is still like something that can jeopardize
Well, I
licenses.
mean, not even you lose your freedom and you hurt somebody's entire family.
Hurt
So it's
someone's
not
entire
it's not worth
family.
it. Like we should all work on being kinder. I know that's so cliche, but
Yeah.
truthfully, it's just it would be a better world.
So that helped me a lot. You know what I mean?
I want to
I'm,
ask
like,
you a
thinking
question
about
though.
that. Yes.
Back to the woman man thing. What are your icks with
My
chicks,
icks?
with women?
Talking. That's about it right now. I just don't-
Talking
I
to
don't know what's
women?
wrong with me. I don't know. Like I like.
No wonder.
It's just.
You know what? You need 5 more years in the oven.
I think
You're not
that-
ready to come out.
Well,
yet.
here's what I think it is. I think it's because I'm still. It took my whole.
You
I-
said your ick is talking to women. What are you
Like-
disgusted right now?
No, no. This has been a phenomenal conversation.
Okay, good.
It's definitely the caliber of women. So just not
Good for
talking
me.
to the right. But so here's what it is. I think you brought up a good point where I'm still in the building phase. Like what happened was I built up to a high level position as a regional manager, So and then took all of my money. Simon hit me up with the ownership opportunity. I had 6 figures in the bank, 2 cars, 2 Jags. Took everything. He's like, hey, we could partner. And I knew he's like, you're gonna take like a 10-to-1 pay cut. So I would have made $1 million like up front, opposed to $1 million on a 1099. Way two fucking different things. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like
agreed.
Way different things. So yes, last couple years, put a couple mil on 1099s, and everything's been phenomenal. But I took like a 5-to-1, 10-to-1 pay cut, and it costed everything to like. Had to downsize my cars, got the big truck, and I've
That's admirable.
been
'cause-
here.
Yeah.
This has been like my house sometimes, like right here. And
Can I
like,
be very honest with you?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I see what some of the people that you work with
Mm-hmm.
when they are
flexing.
flexing, I get turned off
Yeah.
by it. I get really. I'm like.
So we
I
get-
want people to think I want the IRS to think I'm broke. I want everybody
Yeah,
to think
you
I'm
want
broke.
everyone to
Don't
think you're
ask
broke.
me
Yeah.
for anything. But to me, it's just like. But I appreciate that what you did instead
Yeah.
of I don't see you flexing as much. Maybe I miss
can't,
it.
Yeah, I can't flex
she
all the
choked
time.
a little
You know what I
bit.
mean? But yeah, I can't.
Funny, maybe I'm missing it.
I think we just kind of
To
grew.
me, that's more respectable. I think that confidence is quiet.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think we also grew up. All 3 of us grew up very similar, but it's like, shit, dog. We grew up where some Christmases was like blankets, and this is not. You can't say this is glamorous. It was blankets and socks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, when's the last time?
You asked for blankets and socks, but
I don't ever. What 16-year-old boy asks for her socks?
Well,
But see,
you probably knew what you could ask for too.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to make your
But we live
parents
within
feel
our
bad.
means, and
Yeah.
then coming in, it's like, yeah, we'll have subtle flexes, and when we get the cars and things like
I
that.
bought a new car, I showed it off.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just like, this is my face when I see it. I'm like, okay.
And
It's-
in this industry, it attracts the younger dudes.
It's for recruiting.
Yeah.
I realize that. Yeah.
It's definitely more so for recruiting, but I think also sometimes people's egos get into it because they're virgins with the money. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like
It's like that new money.
new money.
You could tell.
You got to think a lot of boys are bullied, and again, like you guys said, boys and men operate to impress other boys and men. So they're not doing it for you guys. They're
Yeah.
doing it to say F you to that bully in school that, said they were a little
See, I like that backstory.
Yeah.
I like that. But
Yeah.
to me, when sometimes on social media, it's hard to convey a message. I'm just like,
You ain't gonna get the right girl just hyper flexing material.
No,
You're not gonna get
You're
the
gonna
right
get the
woman.
ones gonna, cause you a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Because women like me who make their own money
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
impressed by that.
Yeah, money ain't gonna get her. That's
Yeah.
where virtue comes into place.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's the question was meant to be funny. I'm like, do you like dirt under? Like, you probably hate dirt under your fingernails or
No,
shit
let's
in your
get
teeth.
so
That's
let's get a
what
little
I was talking about.
No,
The
and
ick.
I think and to wrap it up, I think so. I put so much of my soul into this the last where I'm so not burnt out. I'm ready to go another 1,000 years.
Yeah.
But I'm exhausted, and so and usually, any relationship, not just a woman, any relationship, you're gonna want to have some conversation of how was your day, and like by the time that word comes
You
up,
don't want
I'm gonna that's how my day was. It was the same day. Shit's hard, and we're headed towards the direction I want to go, but we still got some time to get out and get going. Most businesses fail in their first 5 years, and just this last month, we broke our first profitability of like opposed to just breaking even.
Congratulations.
And I think
That's
we're
exciting.
2.5, 3 years in. But and thank you so much. But what's
Yeah.
like separates us from like all the other levels that are essentially underneath is like they're profitable essentially right up front. I experienced all that. So it's like having all that goodness, being broke as a kid to rich to then rich broke is what I call it because you got a bunch of money coming in and it all
Well,
goes back out.
Wealth is different. If you can live and do whatever you want, and
Exactly.
it's wealth.
It's
If you
exactly.
can-
It's still
yeah.
wealthy because I do what I want pretty much for the most part. I can still help my mom out. My mom's never had to worry about anything, and
Yeah.
we've been able
You're
to help her
building an
out.
empire, dude.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I get to work with my sister now, so it's like we created a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's
it's like
awesome.
and it's more than fulfilled because the past people I didn't realize it until she exposed me to what I was missing out on. Like I remember like she was like because I had her like kind of go over my Amex. She's like, did you know your one assistant cost you $13,000 and your interest rate went up on this payment? And I'm like, oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's cool now that it's like family ties because always people are like, gotta be careful working with family, and I'd be scared about that. And then because I'm just such a demanding person. I'm like I'm get scared
that way
because
too.
I'm like so
I work with my
scared.
friends, yeah.
I'm so scared. I'm like, and I'll tell her sometimes like once a month I'll tell her be like, listen, I'm having like a paranoia attack and I just need to vent to you because like this is what I want done, this is what I need done, this is what we got to do. And she'll like calm me down, we'll calm one another down and shit like that. But like, I'll feel bad because I'll let her know. I'm like, I don't want to go back to like when we were kids. Where we just like attacked each other like
No,
two
but
wild
sometimes I'll
cats.
wake up and think like, oh my God, I'm broke. And it's like, Anna,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But I will work like I'm broke.
Yes.
Because I never want to take for granted this life.
Yeah.
And I don't have a safety net.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I do the same shit. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing that we, it's old habits die hard, like where I save things.
Yeah.
Like say if I was home, I put this in the fridge because I don't want to spend another $8 to get a coffee.
Yeah.
Like I'll save it. And that's like a habit I don't know.
I just thought of a thing I don't like that girls do. Growing up with
Good.
two
Finally,
girls.
3 minutes later.
Yeah, got into a whole heart story, but the shower drains, you guys fuck them up with your hairballs.
Okay.
I hate that. That's disgusting.
Bald girl.
Huh?
Get a bald girl.
There you go.
Get a what?
A bald girlfriend.
Bald girlfriend?
You shave your
The
head
hell?
for you. It's love.
That's disgusting.
No, with his ick with the I don't like talking to women, you're gonna like talking to the right one.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
you'll be
That's what I was getting at. The
excited.
right woman.
Yeah, to talk to the right one.
Yeah, the right
Like,
woman.
what are you
I'll
doing?
talk to the right girl. But,
Yeah.
But so, I'd
Hair in
say
the drain.
the hair in the drain. I really hate a loud, obnoxious woman. Like really loud
Anyone
or
loud and
obnoxious.
obnoxious will piss me off.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like too loud or obnoxious. Like I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like just takes things too far. Or like clubbing,
Yeah.
music concerts. You know what I mean? Lollapalooza girls. don't like the. She's going to Lollapalooza. I'm not letting. Her boyfriend said yes, but brother said no. I said you got to take a gun at least. Like it's more for me for like the safety thing. Like you know what I mean? Like
that's a valid concern.
dude,
valid concern.
And every time I see stuff like that, I'll be like, Lollapalooza goes down. 50% of the people get herpes. It's like what?
Whoa, where?
I've seen that before.
What are they doing? Are they all like sharing something?
Basically, I don't know, but I think that would be something like I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to music concerts. I think my movies, like I don't like unless she likes like superhero, like action movies. That's pretty much it. Action, sci-fi. Like other than that, like I'm not gonna watch your movie. If you tell me to watch a movie, I'd probably unless it was the right girl, then maybe. Like this year I have to go see the Barbie movie with my mom and sister.
I can't wait for that one.
I'm doing that for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's what I mean. It's the right girl. You're gonna.
yeah, like for
someone
you
care
guys.
about,
But like,
yeah.
shit, dude. There's no girl I can think of right now that make me go watch that Barbie movie.
I'm like that with football. There's no guy right now I'd want to go watch football with.
An in-person game?
That shit's boring too.
Yeah. See, like I'm not even too crazy about like I just like being in like a cold, dark room. Life's just like, you know what I mean? Like these lights get too much. I got
A
like
cold, dark room.
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I wouldn't
have a
like that
movie
either.
on.
But I'm drinking, Coke and eating my popcorn. I love movie theater popcorn.
yeah,
And
that's fire.
Watching a movie.
That's fire.
That's cool.
I'm trying to think of other icks because now you got me like curious.
I'll
I'm
tell
like,
you mine. I don't like
yeah,
long toenails on a man.
Yeah.
Just bad hygiene. You wouldn't believe how men are
Trust it.
not clean.
Yep.
Shave, manscape, do things like you are just get a facial, clean your nails. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
Get manicures, like the ones where you don't paint your nails, but like they'll like cut everything.
Yeah, like just the cuticle.
I have the funniest story to tell you guys. I used to get my eyebrows waxed a lot, and I was getting my eyebrows waxed, and I think I was still with my ex, and I think I'd got her like a Brazilian or something, and I was like, do men get those? And like I think she thought like the girl who was waxing my eyebrows thought I was asking for one, and she was like, oh no, I can't do that on you. I was like, first
not what
off,
I was saying.
First off, I wasn't asking you for one. Second, if I was, I'll find someone to like.
Yeah, I'll find someone else.
What's wrong with like? What do you think's wrong with my body?
Oh.
You don't want a Brazilian me? What?
How dare you?
Yeah, like-
you don't even have the opportunity to tell me no.
Like you don't even qualify to Brazilian me, anyways. but that was so funny because he starts talking about cleaning up, and I'm like thinking to myself like, and then like, I think like, nah, I don't want to talk
Brush
about
your
that with you
teeth,
guys.
scrape your tongue. Like some men just
Scrape your tongue.
like you got bad breath. They taste like eggs.
Yes,
Like,
I brush my tongue.
You just laughed at me.
She said scrape. Like I'm thinking of like someone having a scraper. Like, honey, get your tongue scraper. Your shit's
they
looking
probably have a
weird.
device for that. I think they do actually. I think that's a real thing. But yeah, hygiene would probably be my ick, or not being punctual, lying.
That's men's favorite thing to do. We love to lie.
They love to embellish. They're very creative when they want to
Oh,
be.
absolutely. And especially with the circle. I mean, the circle that we're in with entrepreneurs, especially more so from your end though, with men, is like you're already around hustlers. So like the men that you're going to be interested in, hustle, dog. So like,
Yes.
and how you do one thing is how you do everything. So it's like, that's why it's so important for you to attack the values and the virtues first. Because if you're going to attract a hustler, you got to make sure just go look at their like integrity of their personal life, how they treat their mother and all that. Because like
family, that's a very important.
That's a
how
huge
they
thing for
treat.
me.
Yes,
Yeah.
how they treat their family. Do you like your family? What's the problem there?
yeah, if I
You know?
heard someone like swearing crazy at their mom or something like that, like I wouldn't be.
Or be disrespect. That's really
like really consistently, because I can't say I'm an
dangerous to
angel.
me,
Like
yeah.
you know, I was definitely a dickhead to my mom. You know what I mean, growing up. But like
Yeah.
now it's like, you know what I mean. You adore your mother. It's like, you know what I mean.
yes,
So
that's
it's like,
very important.
someone like in their mid 20s or 30s, like talking crazy to their mom or even dad, like
Yeah, the
would-
disrespect. Yeah, how you treat like animals, how you treat old people,
Animals,
the
yeah.
less the vulnerable. How do you treat people like that?
Yeah.
That's a really good indication of people, just human character in general.
yeah, like the people that could never do anything for you.
But some people don't have. And this could be men and women. Don't have like they're just surface level. They don't know how to be
Yeah.
deep or introspective or reflective and things like that.
Yeah.
That's a really I didn't realize that people aren't like that until I started talking to dumb idiots. And it's like, wow, you
Yeah.
can't think past what I'm saying. So we have nothing in common.
And
How they treat you in front of the people that are most supportive of them.
Yes. Do they introduce you, or
Yeah.
are you just in the back? I've been in the background in friend circles, and I'm just like, you gonna introduce me? You gonna introduce me? I'm the coolest one here. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me? Like, I shouldn't even be here.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's huge. I think also another thing is like, couldn't be with a girl that like flexed the money and the materials really hard on people and was like, we're way better than you. Look at this Cartier my man got me. Like,
Oh,
bro,
cool. Everyone's
doing?
got one.
like, I just ate a bologna sandwich. You're
Yeah,
focusing on
like,
Cartier.
what? I hear you. I don't like that. The,
Yeah,
the
like,
flexing thing.
I love nice stuff. You know what I mean? I love
Me too.
nice
Nice
cars,
stuff.
nice
They're nice,
houses.
yeah.
I'm not gonna. If I'm not gonna go on the trip if I can't fly first class. So it's like I think I love all that stuff, but I'm not gonna
I'll
bougie.
still book a Spirit flight if I have to.
Yeah, I mean worst case, but
There's only one direct from Pittsburgh to LAX, and it's Spirit.
oh shit.
Yeah, I don't want
God.
to. So I'll
Yeah.
time will outweigh comfort.
Dang, dude, that Spirit, we're gonna have to pray for you when you take that flight. Make it safe. But I don't want to like bougie drown somebody. Like, man, I'm so much.
Yeah.
And I can see what you're saying in regards to like the life insurance culture specifically. I know like a lot of these guys will hardcore hit that shit. But I completely agree. I think from either end, it's like it's kind of like anybody that puts their shit too much out there. I don't feel like a girl wants to be with a guy that like puts his shit so much out there, and a guy doesn't want to be with a girl that like is over revealing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like it's like that's one thing. It's like I want a modest woman. It doesn't mean like I need her in like a full
burqa
a full hijab or a burqa. You know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
don't got to be like locked up. Don't show your ankles. You're beautiful. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be with a beautiful girl.
I like timeless. I like class. I like that. You know what I mean? It's.
But like bikini pictures in the winter, like, oh, I missed the beach. No. We ain't at the beach, dog. It's December.
Listen, I call that peacocking. I do it too. If I want attention from a guy who follows me, I will post something to get his attention.
Actually, I be posting ad pictures every day. I gotta stop.
You're
saying
like upside down in the sauna.
Yeah, I'm like
he's
upside
doing
down in the
like
sauna.
Cirque du Soleil. Who follows you that you're trying to?
No one
peacock?
even comments. My
Okay.
mom would be sliding up. Good work, buddy. I'm like,
Your
I'm
mom?
like looking like, dog. I know this is cool. Like, where are the hoes at? I'm just playing. I'm playing.
I'm sure
It's a podcast.
I'm sure there's some chicks like hearting it, like the little ones, like, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah, just my
I mean,
mom.
I get my peacocks too. You know, I'm like, hey, I'm around. Maybe like ask me to dinner. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what I want to do.
You know what? No one's asked me to dinner.
Would that be weird if a chick was like,
Actually, I would be offended. I swear to God, this girl did ask to pay for something like a week ago, and I was like, don't talk to me.
dude, if a guy asked me to split a bill at a restaurant, I'd say I'm paying the whole thing. Please never talk to me again. Like,
We just joked about this literally yesterday. We were up at
I'm
New
not even
Buffalo on a jet ski. I've been joking with her for the last couple of days about this. I was like, oh, so you and Justin splitting meals? And she was like, she was like, what? Never. Are you kidding me? And then I got my business partner to say it, and he's a lot older, so you know how old men are. They just blurt it out way more aggressively. And he's kind of delusional, so at this point he believes it. And he's like, Tristan told me about how you and Justin are splitting meals. That's cute.
Oh my God.
And he's like, what? And then he told her that Justin told him that, her boyfriend. And she immediately looked down at her phone. I look up, she's texting Justin. I just want to confirm, did you tell Dave that we're splitting the
How
bills?
nice.
Why would you want to flex that you can't afford to have a girlfriend?
Oh.
but he doesn't do that. Like, that didn't happen. It was a made up thing.
Yeah, I've been making it up. I'll make shit up I'll just make shit up just to add a little. You gotta add, and I think I'm helping them because a relationship isn't fun with
He's Cupid.
with a little fire.
little cherub.
You know what I mean? You add a little fire and it helps. Your best times in a relationship is when there's fire.
Okay, I like that.
No, so I think that's where also I probably gotta have a couple more years in the oven because I definitely like look for that toxicity. You know what I mean? Like,
I like chaos too. I used to be a chaser, and I'm done doing that. I don't
Yeah,
chase anymore. I'm like,
see?
I'm a magnet, and I will attract,
yes. Yep.
as
see?
I should be.
I want to just get a dog and ride that out for a few years and
That's a
just
yeah,
read.
or a plant. You need something to
pray.
take care of.
I would do a plant.
Just
and
keep it
a
alive.
dog. See, that's the thing too. Is like I'm so lethargic. It's like I know when I get the dog. It's like, Aaliyah, can you walk it? You know what I mean? Like
That
Aaliyah.
wouldn't be fair to the dog.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean. Like I'll definitely rub, hang out.
Rub
cuddle
and
with the
hang
dog.
out? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, rub, hang out with the dog. But like walking, especially in the cold, no,
Oh yeah, you're in Chicago.
absolutely not. Absolutely
rough.
not. That wind effect. Favorite food before we wrap up?
I love sushi.
Sushi.
I love ramen, sushi.
There's sushi places.
Italian.
in Chicago that have the revolving sushi.
Ooh,
so it's a
I've heard of
conveyor
that.
belt.
Yes,
yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's really good. There's a Nobu. You've definitely had Nobu. There's a
Yeah.
Nobu Chicago. Huh?
Ooh.
Yeah. There's Gibson's Italia, RPM Italia. I
I
don't know
wish I
how
had
long
more
you're staying in
time
Chicago.
here. Yeah, I'll be at the fundraiser later, then I gotta fly out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I won't hype
One
up
day
all
when I
this
come
food.
back.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. We're probably an hour plus in.
That was great. I enjoyed it. That
Yeah,
was fun
yeah.
conversation. This is our first conversation ever, by the way.
Yes. And you guys can tell I love every single person we've had on here. Love all of our guests, for those of you that come back and watch. But you can kind of tell, like, when I vibe or connect. The ones that, like, I have to pull stuff out of, it'll be like 20 minutes. But the ones I can connect and have a conversation with can go an hour plus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When's your birthday?
totally. June 17th.
Yep, that's why.
Why?
I have great conversations with Geminis. So
Well, we're good for that. We're very witty.
I don't believe in that shit.
Brings
but
it up, but I don't believe in it.
I
When's
don't
your
believe in
birthday?
it. Mine's September 25th, Libra.
Libra. Oh, we're both dual signs.
I don't know what it is, but both my exes are Geminis.
Oh, June
Yeah.
or May Geminis.
June.
We're
And my
the-
mom's June. My mom's
the
June.
good ones.
My mom's June 16th.
No
Right?
way. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so
6/16,
cool.
1990.
Wait, your mom is 1990? I'm 19.
I'm fucking with
What?
I'm messing with you.
What?
You see how we got her?
I thought that was like,
No, we got you a little bit.
I'm not that old. Shut up.
We got you a little bit.
I'm in the prime of my life, so.
Yes, no. You listen. When we got you, for the longest time, because we've been following each other for a couple years now. It's like, oh, this girl's in her mid-20s or something. She must just be connected with Simon or something like that.
Yeah.
And when you said 33, I was like, dang.
I hope I keep getting that look
Yeah.
all
let's
the way
go.
to my 40s, so.
This was fire. Shout out. Now help me pronounce the full name. Anna
Oh, my name is Anna DeFrank.
DeFrank. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Because for some reason I was thinking like DeFurio or something.
That's cool. But no, it's Anna DeFrank.
Anna DeFrank, like Anne DeFrank, right?
Well, I used to get Anne Frank all the
Anne
time.
Frank, yeah.
Yes, we're not affiliated at
No.
all.
So where can people find you? They want to buy a home. They want to do network with you.
Yeah, please reach out, annadefrank.com, or my Instagram's AnnaDEF17. Pretty much it.
Dope. Let's go. Thank you again for a fire episode. This is another episode of Adversity Kings. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We post mediocre content all the time. Let's go. Peace.